Hello, hello. Hey, Kevin. January 30th. He may be back to stream on the 31st, but will definitely be here on the 3rd. Okay. The goal for today is to tackle light work that can be completed today. That way, nothing is left outstanding for after vacation. Right when I get back, or right when he gets back, Idler Fest will be starting. Fest. Okay, then. Yeah, so howdy. Hey, Sinistello. Hey, Animin Trait. Xanis and Nukadulka. How's it going, everybody? I have been working very, very hard, and we had a lot of stuff to do. I need to file these notes at some point. Oh, I did watch the beginning of Page's VOD. Yeah, the rest of the stuff I just need to do, I don't know, some other time. I'll write weekend, but we won't actually have time to do it on the weekend. And I think I have booked like every last minute up until my vacation. So, yeah. Hey, Remy. Bando Wowie. Anyway, I started yesterday with the auto battle stuff. So let's go pull this up and see whether it's worth doing that first or the PRs first. It's probably worth finishing this. I did one other piece of the puzzle yesterday, and then I don't know. I was just like, I should not be coding right now. 5 out of 5, but there was a sixth one in your second message. If you can type more, why aren't you typing more? Okay, so here's what I did yesterday, both on stream and off. On stream, I made this button, so you can now auto battle before you start the battle, so that when I do start the battle and then win it, it'll just start another one for me. I also made it, what did I do? Oh yeah, when a party is walking to the portal. So let's say I start a new fight and I don't have this on, I can now turn it on. No, wait, I can't do it there. Hang on, where was it? I did something yesterday. I don't remember what it was. Mm, that was during the stream. What? Get log -7? Oh no, I didn't stream in the afternoon. That wasn't during the stream. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Climbed for 1.5 hours this morning. Just ran a 5K. Nice. Turbo Ramey. You're giving Turbo Dave a run for his money. All right, so I apparently added it here. All right, well then I think it's worth finishing this. Yeah, and I have some other little feedback things. Okay. Oh, that's why I never finished this. Oh my God. It's good to read my notes. All right, so stash pop here. Get stash pop. And then last thing I want to do is consolidate the code I have around if an instance is elite and you haven't unlocked the perk since it's used in 2 locations. What does this code even do? What did I write here? Oh, I split out the auto battle thing. Okay, I remember now. I totally just purged this from my memory because I ran into a bigger issue and then I got really stuck on the bigger issue. I'll share what that is later. After your last commit changing the font name, if you open town, does it revert it for you? It does for me. Does it revert the font change back to McKenna? Because if so, that's not good. Okay, let's see. Did it? Yep. So we got to figure out where this is coming from because, yeah, that's not good. Thanks for pointing that out, Kevin. Gotta figure out why font name is being put back in here. Figure out why font name in basic fonts.tres is reverting to McKenna. Should be Skeleseller main. I don't know where that comes from, and I need to figure that out. But yeah, here's what I did. Now that I actually know what I did here, I have auto battle. If I start a battle, yeah, now you can see there are two distinct icons down here. So you can turn this on or off. And now if I flee, I think it always turns it off. Yeah. So if I turn it on and then win the battle, it'll just start a new battle. So that was it. The only thing missing now is that when you're walking to a portal, you can't turn on auto battle. Yeah. Some sort of compatibility export setting to not add in custom fonts. I don't think it's that. I think it's that probably this exists maybe in the font file, although I don't know how we would even see that, because maybe we need a special tool. All I know is that we can see the glyphs if I open this up here. Skeleseller main, this one. So if I double click this, it gives me a preview, gives me a validation report with 2 issues. What are the issues? Name table structure. Okay, that's probably the problem. And then duplicate fonts. Maybe the duplicate fonts is because I have it installed. I'm not actually sure. But name table structure, does it tell me any more information about this? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you get more information about this. Oh, hey, here we go. Details. Version unknown error. Usage identifiers. I don't see anything. I don't see anything here. I'm not really sure what to do with that. But we'll have to look at that later. It's not super important. For all we know, Godot is saving it in the packed byte array. Yeah, but then re-importing would probably fix it. It's got to be coming from somewhere. In fact, maybe it is just re-importing is all I would need to do. Let's try that. Here it all is. I'll just click re-import. Well, there's advanced here. What does advanced show? Nothing important. Yeah, nothing important. All right, so let's just click re-import and hit the play button. No. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll look at that later. All right, so I got to check this in, and I wanted to reuse this somewhere. Check if the instance is elite. Oh, hey, re-importing the font did change a little bit. Keep rounding remainders true, and variation in bolden has an ampersand before it now. Is there anything about McKenna in here? There can't be because I searched for this. RGI McKenna. Yeah, I don't know. All right, like I said, we'll come back to that. Let's finish looking through here. So there was some code that I added, which is this. If you can't repeat elite battles, to show this here, I think we should encapsulate this whole thing inside of its own toggle. I'm not sure. Hey, Smack, I'm doing pretty well. It's the last day before vacation, and we're just going to do some light work. If I'm not super productive today, I think it's okay. This is the one the one task I want to get done, and I think we can do it in the morning. So I think I'm going to just check this in. Why is this still different? Get rid of that. All right, let's look over this one more time. So we had in the cycle graphic there. I don't think that really matters because it's going to get overridden anyway. Waves cleared notification. Yeah, we got rid of a container there. I changed some things around. Toggle auto battle. Yep. Yep. Yeah. This is looking good. There's some repeat stuff that I really should get rid of. We don't check those two things in. We checking everything else though. Okay, so checking everything other than town and town perks. Good. One task is one more than zero. Yeah, and even if we got zero done, it wouldn't be such a big deal. The big pressure here is that on February 3rd, Idler Fest starts. And we're going to have a Skeleseller demo in that festival. I don't know how many people are even interested in this festival. I don't know how many people of those will find Skeleseller. And then of the people who find it, how many will like Skeleseller. But the more we can put into the demo, the better. And that's why I'm really, really glad we launched Checkpoint 5 when we did. It was 1 week ago to the day. And in that 1 week, we've already fixed a ton of stuff. The other day, Pige streamed it, and he was the first person to use the Skeleseller category. And yeah. And I went back and I watched this yesterday. So yesterday was only 3 days before. And there were already a bunch of things that we'd fixed, even in just 3 days. So those are things that now no one else will ever comment on because they've been fixed and they won't know what it used to look like. So yeah, I think it's getting better and better. Is this a physical thing? No, it's just a Steam thing. So now people who go to Steam on that day, actually, I think we can just go to Steam now and I can show you what it'll look like. Because I think they have an RTS festival running right now. That. Steam Real-Time Strategy Fest, January 20th to 27th. So that's it. That's what people will see. I mean, Final Fantasy will still show up on top, apparently. But if you click this is almost certainly what it's going to look like for Idler Fest. They'll have some custom graphic in the background. And then it's just now they're only showing things that are in the festival. And presumably there are some that aren't actually released yet. How do you find those? Top demos. Oh, but there's no requirement that these be games that haven't participated before. Although I shouldn't recognize any of these. Yeah, which doesn't say a lot. I'm not super plugged in. Yeah. So this is the top demo right now, I guess. Let's take a look at what they have on the page. Oh, have the volume turned way up. Windy, hey, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. And hey, I was looking for a little bit just before I started my stream. You were putting on many an accent. Yeah, I feel like it's happy windy that it's Friday. Yeah, what is this? We're just looking at, so I was talking about how Idler Fest is coming up, and there was a question about what is Idler Fest, and it's something just like all the other Steam festivals, just some digital thing. But right now, Real-Time Strategy Fest is running, and I wanted to see what this looks like, and if I were interested in these games, what would I be looking for? I don't know how many people are going to click top demos. That's the other problem here, right? Like, how new are demos on Steam anyway? 2 years, 3 years? Like, for the majority of Steam, well, maybe you could have had demos, I don't know, but I think they became more popular with Next Fest. Anyway, this is what's a little bit tough about demos. There are no reviews, and I think that's a double-edged sword. If you had reviews, then people would, you had to find some way to like reset them. So you could basically never trust them, because if they ever got to be negative, someone would just bump a new version and be like, this meaningfully changes my game, so reset the reviews. Because it's a demo and you know that the game's going to change. So you can't have a poison reviews forever. But by not having reviews, you can't even see what people are saying about it yet. I guess you have to go to the forums. How do you do that? Community Hub. Discussions. Oh, wow. People are decently active here. 287 topics. And are all of these within the last week? 8 hours ago, 20 hours ago. January 22nd. Yep. 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 Okay, there. That's where it stops. So they had about 10 pages of forum stuff up until then and got another 10 pages worth afterward. So they probably roughly doubled their traffic, it sounds like. But then again, they must have had a lot of traffic to begin with because, I mean, 10 pages of posts, that's quite a lot. Like, what are people saying here? Not even close to CNC. Lots of balancing. You cannot turn buildings. Can't turn buildings. I don't remember that in Command & Conquer. Having only 2 helicopters per building is annoying. Cameras too close. What? Till today, I still play Command & Conquer 0 Hour. I will be going back to this game. Happy I didn't buy the pre-order. This is just a demo. Man, this seems very critical. Who cares? Thanks for gifting the sub. Influencers and streamers will? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And if enough people look at it, I guess other people will start to look at it. I think one of the issues with Skeleseller is since it's not a random game or anything, if you watch someone play it, you're going to mostly get the experience of having played it yourself. But maybe you'll still enjoy it. I don't know. RTS has not been doing well. Any win is great. RTS is a genre? Yeah, I think StarCraft 2 was the last big popular one that I know of that actually had a competitive scene and still has a competitive scene. And there was some like StarCraft replacement that was supposed to have 10-minute long games whose name I forgot. Anyway, who cares? Thank you for the gifted sub. I think I only noticed that it happened and not sure I actually said thanks. Yeah, this day 3 of the demo was too early to go crazy about balance. Yeah, I'm surprised that this comment is even a thing. Like it's fine to compare a game to another game, but yeah, man. Seems a little rough to say it. Well, I don't know how close they are to launch. I guess they might have some information here. Anyway, that's it. That's the festival. That's where we're going to be too. We're going to be in Idler Fest, and we'll just be some thumbnail on a store page, and people will probably be like, "This game sucks compared to these other games." And that's where you all need to rise to the White Knight occasion. You need to swoop in there on your stallions and say, "Adam's been working hard on this game. You should like the game." When you put a demo up on Steam or an early access title, you have to expect players to view it as a final product, and there's nothing that can be done to alter that. I think I think everything to do with games has to do with setting expectations. And I think that in this case, you don't necessarily need to be the one that set expectations. So for example, Next Fest, I think the entire festival is just about demos. So I think people are probably judging them as like, okay, they can be a little rough around the edges. But yeah, for any other festival, I think that's probably true. They'll probably just treat it like it's a full game. I'll start a bunch of positive forum posts. Why is this guy Raimi making 10 pages of forum posts? There's a dog in every one of them. Okay, so split, auto, battle, and flee buttons. They were always distinct from a code point of view, but from the player's perspective, they were just one button. Now you can enable auto battle while a fight is running. That is fantastic. Very glad to have that. W for Dirt Account. Rame E, Rame F, Rame G. Hey, Josh. All right. When you unlock the repeat battle perk mid-fight, we could allow you to enable auto-repeat. In my opinion, this isn't worthwhile to code. Yeah, I don't really care about this. This is what I was talking about here. If you start a battle against an elite, this icon at the bottom left is disabled. It says you cannot repeat. While you're in this battle, you could unlock the ability to auto-repeat battles. I don't care. I'm not going to do anything about this. The amount of people that's going to affect is going to be for like very few. It's for a total of like 12 seconds. And once you unlock it, then this will change. So it doesn't really make a difference. So I'm not going to do anything about that. In fact, I will write this on my stream of consciousness note so I don't forget it. Or rather, that I forget it and then don't care about it. From within the battle itself, this isn't worthwhile to code. It's not really a big impact. Yeah. Hey, TJ. Oh, wow, he calling card. There's a crime scene where animals are being pet in their own homes. No damage is done. No murders are committed. And there's a little wowie card next to it. I believe Steam tags posts from those that receive the product for free. So apparently that's an opt-in thing. I didn't realize that. But I was talking to people about this the other day. There's some checkbox when you post a review, you know, there's like the text entry. And then at the end, there's a checkbox that says something like, I received this for free. Because even if Steam can know it, you still have to opt in. Because people shared this for when they were gifted games. Take care, Wendy. Thank you very much for the raid. I will be on vacation the next week, by the way. So the next time I might stream might be Friday. And then, of course, the festival is going to be going on. And I plan on streaming throughout all of that, I hope. I just learned that Google Docs has ad shortcuts. Yeah, it's pretty nice. The other thing that's kind of new is if you have a link to another document, like let's say I do this, I paste in a link, you can press tab and turn it into a little cell and then see a preview of the document. So it doesn't take up some gigantic amount of space. You don't need to do anything special with it. Thanks, Wendy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sure I will, by the way. I'm sure I'll enjoy the vacation. Gotta love fixing vendors' products. Our vendor needs to start paying me for taking my time to fix their stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind if it's open source and I can contribute the change and then it helps other people too. But it feels bad when you pay for something and it's broken and then you have to fix it, but you're only fixing it for yourself. I don't like that. All right, so walking to portal. This is the last aspect of this we have to do. So if I start a battle here, there's no way to turn on auto battle from this page. So there's a cancel button. We need to add in an auto battle button. And we already have it on the end battle screen. I wonder how much of that we can just reuse. Walking to portal does not know that you've enabled auto battle. And when it completes, oh, the instant slot knows that you've enabled it. Oh my God. All right, let's add in a button. We'll take it from the end battle screen. Auto repeat button. And we'll put this on walking to portal. We have the cancel button there. We need this inside of an HBox container. So put this up there, put this there, paste this underneath, and then center everything. Okay, so it looks just like the other one does. Those new sprites look great. I'm not sure. Maybe you're talking about the boss ones? Because I was going to say a lot of the adventurers and customers and stuff have been there for a while. There are some changes to them that you might not have seen. Like the warrior has a headband now, and the mage has a slightly different hood. But those are pretty subtle. But we do have new animations in battle as well. So your characters have an idle animation. I'm waiting for them to get to the portal. There. Your character has an idle animation. It's got an attack animation. We should probably make the arrows come from the bow now. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I think it looks great. Also, that sort of freeze thing happens every once in a while. And I think that's actually OBS and not the game. But I do not know for sure. Also, this is happening now no matter what, huh? That is too bad. And I guess nothing I do is going to fix that. All right, well, anyway, so this is the last part of this, which is getting the walking to portal thing to work. I hope this is not that bad to do. We just did it for when you're in the battle. In the battle is here, and it goes to instance slot. So we have the auto repeat. Yeah. We should probably make a component out of this. The problem is this one looks different from the other one. I'll add it, and then I'll see what I want to do. Okay, so there's the first part of this. There's the second part of this. Anything else? Set whether it's visible. It's visible if auto battling is possible, which we don't initialize this thing in such a way that we can even know that. Well, that's a shame. That is a shame. All right, let's pass into town. Town.is auto battle possible. And then we need to see where this is initialized from, because I think there are like 4 different places. After add child, do we have the town? No. Do we get it in here somewhere? Yes. So let's save it off. Private town, init, town equals town. Okay, and then we need to set this to null, like so. And now that'll work. And that's the only place where this is called? Yes. Hey, Monetic Bind. If you've got on vacation next week, does it make sense to still send feedback? Haven't gotten around to playing the checkpoint this week. No, probably not. What you should probably play is the Idler Fest demo that we have on February 3rd. And probably just come into the stream and share your feedback here. Because that way I can tackle it while I'm streaming and improve it for everybody. And that way you'll also be getting all the changes that everyone from Idlerfest will be seeing. So thank you for asking. There are still some pieces of feedback I haven't looked through yet. Oh, also, oh my God, I almost forgot. There's the festival prep that we got to do. Where is that? Yeah, this. Oh man, how could I have forgotten? Okay, when this is like post vacation, absolutely have to do this. Post vacation Festival prep. Yeah, the most important thing here is one, get it on Steam. That's pretty important. Otherwise, people can't play the demo. And then two is to put a different survey there, I think. Yeah, the other things aren't as important. Yeah, we have some things we got to test. We do have a basic press kit. Oh, Skeleseller.com has now been updated. So now it looks like this, which is apparently broken. Oh, wait, no, it's only broken because of Dark Reader. Just turn that off. Yeah, so this is it. This is the entire site. You're seeing the 3 buttons you can click: the video, wishlist on Steam, and download the press kit. But it's better than a coming soon page that had no clickable buttons. I don't know. Does this show up if I search for Skeleseller? Yes, it just says coming soon though. Buy cheap Skeleseller CD key. I wonder what happens if you click this. I'm kind of curious. I almost don't even want to. Yeah, let's find out. Wishlist at 10. What? Are people actually wishlisting it through this site? What even is this site? Is it a gray market site? It must be. Yeah. Try an incognito. Yeah, it's still showing up. Okay, cool. It's an aggregator for other sites. Oh, so they don't actually facilitate any sales? Okay, that's not bad then. Interesting that people wishlisted through there. By the way, I should report what the newest wishlist count is, which I have not checked. We were at 559 yesterday. We are now at 563, so it went up by 4. All right. Well, tell your friends about the game. We need those wish lists. Okay, so now we have this part done. We need the toggle auto battle thing next. Visibility is set there. The tooltip we need to fetch as well. Set this to the town's tooltip. Yeah, we don't have a thing for the tooltip yet though, do we? Like I said, I think I want to consolidate this at some point, but I don't think I want to put in the work of doing that today. There's that. What's next? Hey, Christine. L3J. Welcome in. Wishlist may be in IGDB or some other source they query. Possibly. Is it there? IGDB Skeleseller. There it is. Add to list. I think this is probably different. There's a want button. Can I click this? Status, no status, wish list, backlog. I'm going to click wish list. What did that do? Did that show as 1 now for everybody? I doubt this has any impact on anything. And now that I've done this, I'm probably never going to remember to come back here and set that I've played it or something, and then it was the best game I've ever played. All right, well, whatever. The reason you have to put things on this site, by the way, is so that you can put it on Twitch. Twitch uses this as their database for games. They used to use something called Giant Bomb, and that process was slightly more tedious. IGDB seems better. Do they have a set of games here? Yeah, they do. I bet Botland is on this site. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Just added to my wish list. Thank you, DFT. Yeah, and to be clear, you're talking about Steam, right? Because I was gonna say I think the IGDB one probably doesn't matter too much, but here definitely matters. And if anyone has not done this and wouldn't mind doing it, there's the link. Do you have anyone with a Steam Deck? Check out if the demo works on there. It's something the Steam page lists, but now it says no data. I have not, and I have a Steam Deck myself, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a great experience. Yeah, thank you, DFT. Oh, it's operated by Twitch. Oh, I didn't realize. Huh. Well, I think it's smart of them to do that. And that way they have their own database. And it was easy enough to get a game listed there. Okay, so we got the tooltip. This needs to happen in init. So I guess we do all of this stuff. We need to know what instance ID we're walking to, which this does not tell us. You know what it should probably just tell us is like, should we show the button and can you use the button? Yeah, because we don't need any of this town stuff here. Although we could compute this ourselves. But where do we make this? Walk into portal. We have the instance ID. We must have the instance ID, right? Yes. No, we don't. Where's the ID? That must get saved somewhere. It doesn't? Oh, because there's a party in transit. Oh my God. Well, we could pass that in. Yeah, we could pass that in and figure it out. I don't like that. But yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I am purposely committing tech debt here. Okay, so now we need the instance ID. Instance ID. Cool. No overload takes 3 things. Now it does. And then we can put this in here. So we get the instance data. Instance ID. If it's elite and if you cannot repeat elite battles yet, then disable the, whoops, wrong one. Disable the auto battle button and set the tooltip to you cannot repeat them. Good. If it is not that way, then we just allow you to toggle this thing. Which means there needs to be a listener for this, which means I need to clean up the listener for this. Fun. Update auto battle button. Yeah, this same thing's going to be here. This is why I was saying I should make a component out of this. And I think it's a good thing to do for later, but I just don't feel like doing it now. Oh, these don't even have icons, so this is not how this would work. All we need to do is change the tooltip. Yeah. I'm not sure if button pressed is how you check to see if a checkbox is toggled. What is this? Button pressed. It is there. We need it in the end battle screen though. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, then we're good. Toggle auto repeat for this battle. Current state. Actually, we don't need this. What am I doing? The current state's gonna be obvious. Yeah, I think we just delete this. And then that means we probably, I guess we say here, set text, toggle auto battle. Whatever that used to say, at least. What does it say over here? This text will show when you hover over the parent node. Oh, that's helpful. All right, I'll change that to this is set through code. And same thing over here. So what does it say? Because I need to know what it says. We got to go over to that. Speed up. End the battle. When enabled, this will automatically start new battles. When enabled, this will automatically start new battles. All right, we're going to take this string for now. Ideally, we've put this in one place. I'm not doing that. Like I said, purposely incurring some tech debt here just to get done with this. There is no update that we need to do. So it's just toggle auto repeat. Yeah, and we don't have a thing for this yet. On toggle auto repeat. Put this here. And then listen to this from whatever creates this. Yeah, here it is. Do we ever get rid of these things? These things will cease to exist. I don't think there's a problem with this. On toggle auto repeat. Okay, so how does this work? Probably like that. Yeah, probably like that. Let's see if it just functions. And it would be great if it did. And then we can just say this is pretty much done. And then that'll be, I think, the final piece. There might have been one other thing I needed to write. So what happens now is you press start battle. Oh, it broke. not set to an instance of an object. Init in walking to portal, line 48. This should have been set by ready. And the town might not have existed, but I find that hard to believe. Walking to portal. We add it immediately, then we call init. So yes, so it must be that the town doesn't exist yet. This is called from init and we save it right there, so that can't be the case. Huh, let's put a breakpoint there. I don't know why that's failing. It should be very easy to find out. There. Okay, so now we go into that function. Oh, even that failed? It failed in ready? Oh. Oh, did I forget to make it unique? No, it's called auto repeat button. And what line is failing exactly? Line 29. Does it not have toggled on it? Toggle auto battle button. No, it's called the wrong thing. It's called auto repeat button. My bad. Hey, Puppet, how you doing? I'm feeling pretty good. It's Friday. I'm also feeling pretty good. I got a vacation coming up. I have not shared the details other than what's in the vacation command, which is not much. Okay, does this work now? Please say yes. It does not. No, not found. Tooltip on parent relative to auto repeat button. I find that hard to believe because there it is. But we're trying to fetch it from the button. That seems wrong. Tooltip on parent. Why did I do this? It just doesn't make sense. And why is this here? This should be right here. Yeah. And now what did I name it? Auto repeat tooltip. Sounds like a plan. Doing good. Huge storm in Ireland has passed. So we're, oh yeah. Was there a lot of wind damage? Did you have any actual impact or fallout from that? Am I going to be streaming over the weekend? No. I didn't write it in the vacation thing because I don't normally stream on the weekends. All right, there we go. We have auto battle. So now if I turn this on, does it work? Please work. And now it says turn off auto battle. And if I win, it should automatically fight again. Good. So now let's close this, do the exact same thing, and now cancel it. Okay, that still works. Now we have it off. So now it is off over here, and if I win, it's not going to turn on. Good. And if I go to a boss battle, then I should not be able to enable it. Good. But if I buy the perk, I should be able to enable it. Excellent. And now the boss battle should be repeated. Great. Yeah, it's working. Oh, all right. That's going to help a lot of people. So let's go check this in. End battle screen. This can be checked in on its own. This should just clarify where tooltips are set. That's not important. But this is the important stuff. We added the button in. We called into this with what we need. We don't need this. We don't need this. We definitely need this. Okay. And yeah, unfortunately, it is a lot of tech debt. Add auto battle button to... I won't have enough characters to write this in here. How do I rephrase this? I'll just say this. To the walking to portal screen. This completes the bulk of... Where's the issue? 487. You can now set auto battle from 4 locations. the walking to portal and battle screen within the battle and battle panel. This particular commit contains a decent amount of duplicated code because I'm trying to get this feature done quickly. It really should be refactored at some point. But if you put an ellipsis and an eyeball emoji, then nobody's going to question you. You can probably just answer, why did I do this? With Copilot did it. Someday that's going to be the case. But today it's just that I forgot. Yeah, mad QOL indeed. Hey, Freak Technic. Not much damage in my landlocked town, but lots of damage nationwide. Hundreds of millions of euros in cost. Wow. Yeah, I think these sort of freak weather incidents seem to be on the rise lately. There was what, snow in Florida and Texas. There was a windstorm in Ireland. We had a bomb cyclone, which I never even heard of, like what, 2 months ago or something here. And yeah, I don't know what else. It's not like I'm an expert on the weather, but yeah, oh yeah, the LA wildfire. Yeah, that's true. Oh man. Storm over, that was fun. 100-mile-per-hour winds. Lucky no power cut, no damage. Yeah, that's what Puppet's talking about right now too. I mean, nationwide sounds like there was a ton of damage. Imagine I saw sun today. I refuse to believe it. Wildfires, bomb cyclones, I can understand that. Sun in the middle of the day? No way. No way. All right, change tooltip of this. Change the order maybe. Consider making it be an icon. Yeah, probably in the future. And then consider H flipping this stuff. Okay, so these are the last things. These are all little polished things. I think it's fine to do this. Void Algo, I do that for a couple of reasons. Yeah, one is that I do like typing, but two is that if I ever stay on the topic for long enough, like let's say I'm talking about the weather and then eventually I'm talking about something else, that I can realize how I got to that point, or people who come in the middle of the conversation can read what the context is. So I do find it helps. Yeah, I want to catch up when I wasn't listening before. Perfect. Sinistella is there to back me up. All right, change the tooltip of the perk. I don't know what it says now. What does it say? Unlock auto battling, which will allow you to automatically repeat a battle once your adventurers reach full health. Note, you can enable it in each individual battle window. I think we just get rid of the note. I think it's going to be obvious enough how that happens. You can enable this. Yeah, I think we just delete this stuff. I want to look at it in the game. I can't do that. I mean, you probably have no reason to do it. I think that's very much a streaming thing. When are you ever talking out loud to someone and you need to write down what you're saying to them? And it does happen to me in some real situations. I'm in a meeting and I'm talking and I want to take notes on what I'm doing. That's very helpful, by the way, to have that as a skill. What I do during the mentoring sessions and why I wrote like 100 pages per mentee. All right, unlock auto battling, which will allow you to automatically repeat a battle once your adventurers reach full health. So if you click this and you're like, oh, I already have it. I already have it. But anyway, if you click this for the first time and you're like, oh, how do I enable this? Hopefully you see the new button. We could add a note here, but you unlock this within the first 5 minutes of the game. So I don't think you'll have like baked in that this UI doesn't have the button and then ignore it. Yeah. Hey, Cheap. How you doing? First red alert we had in 14 years. Yeah, hopefully it's the last one for at least another 14 years. Man, I don't know how much natural disasters can keep causing this level of damage and not like bankrupt people or companies or countries, I mean. Okay, so remove note from auto battling. Now that we have so many locations where you can enable it, I don't think the note would be helpful. And I think it's pretty obvious too. New Command and Conquer? Weather Edition? All right, next up. The order of the buttons. Kevin wanted to upgrade, auto battle, start, close. So upgrade would be here, then auto battle, then start, then close. So let's take a picture of this. This is the current setup that we have. Current order of buttons. And then put this into GIMP. And let's try the new order. Hey, Pimpy Shorts talking. I haven't seen you since the raid. How's your streaming going? I saw you were mostly playing Final Fantasy since then, I think. Hey, Andy. We did it. We survived another week. Good job. Yeah, good job, everybody. You've advanced by 10 experience points in life. Is there any indication that the player should buy it early-ish? It looks like one option out of many interesting ones. Currently, there are only minor indicators, but in the future, I want to split this panel up so that you only have like 3 options at first. And even then, maybe nothing indicates it, but if there are only 3 options, I expect you to probably just read them. Anyway, the small indicator is that town perks will light up, and you'll realize that you have money for some of these things. The other thing is that the people who are going to see this version of the game are going to be the ones playing Idler Fest, and they're probably going to realize there's an auto battler feature in an Idler Fest game. So it's another thing that'll sort of steer them toward it. We could have a tip if you haven't purchased it. But it's one of those things where I like the discovery aspect too. Like, I wonder how many people would quit the game being like, man, I have to repeat battles myself. I guess the other thing we could do is we could put the button in all of these dialogues before you've unlocked it and just say, you need to unlock this town perk. But I sort of like the idea of the UI revealing that later. Anyway, I'll have to keep an eye on it. What's my skill point for this week? You choose. I've been working on more Godot tutorials. Ah, nice. Yeah, I hope it's going well. I like hearing about people's games at a high level because a lot of times games are such long projects that you don't actually get to see it develop very quickly. We raided someone the other day and they had sort of 3 rooms in their game and they were just cubes at that point. And they, you know, as they're like going through these cubes, they were describing what the game's going to look like. I like hearing about that, just seeing what visions people have. All right, the order we're going to change this to is going to be on the battle panel, and it's just an ordering thing. So Kevin had suggested, what if upgrade were first, then auto repeat, then start battle, then close. And I think some amount of spacing here would be helpful. Like we add in another HBox container and put in the auto repeat and start battle things in here. And then give this a little bit more separation. So something like that. I don't know if that looks better, but let's take a look in the game. Oh, it's just going to look like that. So I know there's no real point. We already kind of know what it looks like. It has been 15 years. They're timed. They're timed with one another. What was the last Red Alert? 3? Red Alert 4? Red Alert 3, it sounds like. Yeah, Red Alert 3. I really like Tiberian Sun. Wait, was it Tiberian or Tiberium? Tiberian Sun. Yeah, Tiberian Sun. Yeah, I like this game a lot. Going back to it, it is a usability nightmare. I feel like StarCraft 2 has the kind of controls I would expect from a game. Also, I think Command & Conquer sort of always had the problem that there were these like mega weapons and they were just sort of obnoxious to play against, but they were fun to use. So it'd be nice if you could have turned them off for just the computer. And I think the only way to do that was to like play on a tech level where they didn't exist for anybody. I think, oh, well, we retract what I just did. Okay, auto repeat, start, upgrade, and then close all the way on the side. Upgrade 1 does change sizes. Okay, I see. Okay, we can probably do that. Apparently some iOS thing. Oh, really? Okay, so we need this to take up the full amount. We need close to show up on the right side. I have an idea for how we can do this. Yeah. Very much a concept in my head. I want to try and make small things before pursuing that idea. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. There's this resource that I have here that I think for people, whoops. Okay, hold on. I never copied that apparently. I apparently typed C into the address bar. Yeah, anyway, this is the 20 games challenge, and it's got what games you should probably make. You start with Pong or maybe Flappy Bird. I guess you can pick either one. And then your second game is either Breakout or Jetpack Joyride. And you just keep going. It starts out difficult or starts out easy, it gets more difficult. And then at some point, it's like, well, you probably can just choose for yourself. But I like that it's got some guidelines there. I think it's a good idea for new game devs. Was there a learning curve on using that split keyboard? Yeah, there was, for sure. So when you have fewer keys, what that makes you do is have each key have multiple jobs. So like this is E. Now it's 5. Now it's the down arrow. Now it's the moving the mouse down. So like this one key has at least 4 functions on my keyboard. It actually has more than that. And that takes a certain amount of like mental mapping. Finish Flappy Bird and Breakout, nice. But the other, yep, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Kevin. How can you remember? I mean, usage. It's so a regular keyboard has, if you think about it, 2 layers sort of by default. You type A and then you hold Shift and press A and it turns into a capital A. And same thing, like you press 1 and then you do Shift and 1 and it turns into an exclamation mark. Those are the kinds of things that you still have this. It's just if you look down at your keyboard, you see 1 and then next to it exclamation mark. So you know what it's going to do. So for this, it's just add another layer or 2 and then memorize it. Also, it's not like you only have to memorize it. You can still have a chart, it just won't be on your keyboard. I have all of my layers here. So here you can see that pressing this key at the upper left is going to be Q. And if I hold the symbol key, it's going to be minus. So you can see me typing a hyphen right now. If I hold the number key, it's going to be tab. So I can do this and I'm tabbing between controls. So yeah, you could just print this out or something and put it on your desk. Hey, Goose. Okay, so we're going to try what Kevin suggested, which is auto repeat, start, upgrade, close. So we add a new HBox container. And then we have the first set of buttons here. And then the other one. First set of buttons going to be these 2 things. And then the close button is going to be the other one that we have. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Then we make this expand the maximum. Container sizing, expand, stretch ratio, max. And then this should just not be set to expand. Shrink. And then this needs to be set to expand. All right. This kind of makes me wonder if we should even have a close button. But yeah, the only other thing I kind of wanted to do here is make these things be positioned a little bit farther apart. So this would have a constant here that is, yeah, I like that, I think. Do you find yourself typing much faster now than with a traditional keyboard? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Because a lot of your sort of normal typing is going to be the optimal case for pretty much any keyboard. Like if you walk up to any keyboard in the world and you just start poking keys, you're probably going to start typing letters. I mean, unless it's a steno keyboard or something. It's going to be rare that you start pressing keys and you're like, oh, numbers first? Like I have to enter a layer to type regular words. And then the only thing that might be tough is like shift and space and backspace. And that's it. That's what typing most sentences are going to be. Letters, punctuation, and these 3 characters. Or these 3 keys, I guess. Occasionally you'll have a number or something in a regular sentence, but even that's not probably super common. I don't like this. Yeah. How many different positioning variations are there for the close button in this game? Probably 4. And I know what you're implying here, which is that maybe we should make them consistent. And in some cases, I think it's easier to do. But in all of them, in almost every place where you can close a dialogue, you can just click outside of it. So in that way, it's consistent. Did you try with the upgrade one last and didn't like it? Oh, did I misread this? Sorry, my bad. Auto repeat was supposed to be first. Yeah, my bad. I just didn't even try it. I wonder if spacing these things out like that would look good. So now here's what this looks like. No, I don't like this. You know why I don't like this? Because when you modify your party, the next thing you're going to do is start the battle. And that button should be closer to the left side, I think. Yeah, auto start, upgrade, close. Yeah. Top left corner to put a close button. It's a very Mac OS inspired thing. I think most people would probably look at the top right. But even then, I'm not sure we want to do. Anyway, those are the sorts of things that can definitely change. Yeah, so I want to rearrange this a little bit. I want to put start battle and this on the other side of upgrade. And then no, wait, no, what am I talking about? I didn't want to do that. I want to put this all the way on the left side, I think. I want to make this begin. You know, the other thing we could do here is just get rid of the close button, like I said. Or yeah, just float and X at the upper right. I vote for start battle first button. You want auto repeat to, yeah, actually, I guess that's true. You'd have auto repeat be the second thing. Sorry, I called you during the stream. Did you? Oh, you did. Are you streaming right now? No. The call was a minute ago. No, I'm not live. Well, thanks for the resub. Oh man, it'd be funny if I picked up like, man, Kit doesn't usually call on streaming. How did that happen? Click outside to close it. So clicking outside to close it already happens. Yeah, I think maybe it's worth putting the X button in the top for some of these. I think it'd look weird on a scroll though, especially something that has a scroll container on it. We didn't answer. I realized I was a bad fan not watching the stream. Well, then that makes me a bad fan a lot of the time too, because usually I'm streaming when you're streaming. So we're both bad fans. Yeah, the scroll does look cool. I'm very happy with this. How things been going, Kit? Are you able to hang out today or no? And I don't necessarily mean you should or have to or anything. Just, is it a light day? All right, so I think I like the order of these buttons. No, I have it broken now. What happened? Oh, maybe I think I know what I need to do. All right, let's put this on the other side. And then maybe just add in a little bit more space here between these. Probably not that much. Maybe like that. Okay. Mostly nonstop meetings. Oh man. What's your take on that? Exciting, boring, just a necessity? I don't think they agreed. Do other windows have a close button or a hover X? So here are the different windows that we have. We have the map, and let me resize this so that you can see everything. So the close button is this one, and I think there was another one somewhere. I don't know, maybe that was it. Then we have the settings where it's actually at the top. But I had it at the bottom, and a bunch of people are like, it should be at the top. I'm looking for it at the top. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll put it at the top. Then we have the settings menu, which, oh yeah, that's it. That's the last one too. This has the stuff at the bottom. And remember, like I said, any of these you can click outside. So if I click in the upper right corner up here, I close both of those things. He just tells me if my ideas are dumb or not. I don't even think I do that. They're mostly all good meetings, so fun, I suppose. But honestly, just miss straight coding. Yeah. Yep. Well, I will say this, as someone who's mostly been coding for a while, It does get to be tough at some points. Well, I guess, okay, for those who don't know, and possibly for a kid who might not know, there are these festivals upcoming. There's Idler Fest on the 3rd, and then Next Fest on the 24th. These are deadlines I did not set and don't have enough sway to be able to adjust. And even if I did, I don't think anyone can really adjust them because a bunch of people signed up. So it's been like crunch time for the last month, it feels like, which is why I'm going to be happy to be taking this vacation because I have been overworking. But the game looks great as a result. We've fixed a lot of issues. We've still got some other big things to do for the new player experience. Like, I don't think the town perk should contain all of these at first. But other than that, I'd say it's in pretty good shape. Just was thinking for consistency, but it seems relatively unique. Yeah, I think consistency would be helpful where we can get it, but I think some of these it's going to be a little hard to do. Like I said, putting an X at the top right here, it's like we'd always have to have this be present, and then it would just show it like random parts of this. So we need to put it outside maybe, and it's like if you're already going to click outside, I guess just click outside. Plus, most people will probably press escape or click outside. Hey, Ace. And by the way, I have a Kiboga command. All right, so what do we do? We changed this. Did we try it out? It's a little weird that this is this far over, but I think it's good. I think I want this to be centered now. Like I want these to be split in terms of how much space they take. I'm not sure. I'm not a UI person. Yeah, I don't know. But it's better than nothing. Let's submit that. Lay out battle panel differently. Starting and setting auto battle are close together. Then they're both on the left because they're going to be frequently pressed after choosing a party. And close is all the way on the right. Yeah. Say push the upgrade one next to close, but I'm not 100% positive. There. That was the wrong one. Whoops. Yeah, I think it looks better. Yeah. Okay. Let's check that in. All right, next. Then this was the only other concern that we had here, which is that everywhere we use the icon, we have it going counterclockwise, which looks like an undo button. But apparently if we were to make it go clockwise, it would not look like an undo button. So like this. Now, to me, this is not really something I noticed. So I'm not sure. Tofu, thanks for the resub. I can't believe it's been 15 months. Then again, you bailed on the stream for like a year. No, I'm kidding. I don't even think you knew I was online. And even if you did, no guilt. So it's probably worth doing this. I mean, the way I look at it is if most people don't care, or let me put it this way. If nobody thinks anything is wrong with this, and some people think something is wrong with this, then I guess let's switch to this one. More like 3 years. Oh, I mean, I wasn't streaming for 3 years before 2023. Yeah, 2020 to 2023. You just put toggle auto battling next to it. Wait, you're saying, yeah, this looks like a redo. Yeah. It has a tooltip on it. So I think that'll be enough. So yeah, okay, let's flip this everywhere then. So there's that one. There is instance. Yeah, this icon needs to be flipped, but only when it's... Oh, you can't even change this here? Are you kidding me? Oh, we're not going to do any of this then. Alternatively, I could, this is kind of dumb. I could flip the image and then just use the flipped image everywhere. But now that I think about it, I think we only use this image for this one reason. So we can probably just flip it anyway. Can you do that on import? No. No. That's fine. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Catch up with you soon. Yeah, take care, Kit. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the resub. Thanks for the missed phone call. Yeah, one meeting at a time. No icons.txt unless they're super ubiquitous. Floppy disk for save. The thing is, for this particular icon, I think you are never going to click it a second time in the game. I'll see what feedback is like for this, because I think it's a little different in games, and also we're going to use this icon everywhere, and I'd like there to only be icons in battle, and these have tooltips as well. Yeah, I don't think it's egregious. So yeah, just the icon is all we need to figure out, and finding where we use this is unfortunately not the easiest thing. Icon toggle. This is for auto repeat. Yeah, this is for auto repeat, so that one's good. Then the instance uses it for auto repeat. And then where do we use this? All right, so it's always auto battle. So let's just flip it, I guess. Yeah. So discard all of this stuff, and then we'll just flip it right there on disk. Game, assets, icons. It's in abilities, but it's not really an ability. Oh wait, is it used for an ability? I'm pretty sure I just checked it and it wasn't. It is, okay, it is technically, but it's for auto battle, so that's fine. Also, this constant isn't used. All right, let's open this up, and can we just flip it? I actually don't know. Probably need to open it with VS Code to flip it from here, in which case we would need to... Oh wait, no, here's what we can do. Oh, I got an idea. Okay, we can just search for cycle on the site, and then they have a flip here. Done, download. And then we can compare this with the other one. It looks like they're the same, except for that this added a transform at the end. So if we search for this, is this the exact same? Yeah, it is. Yeah. So what do they do here? Translate 5, 12, 0, scale -1, 1. Rotate as well. I don't know why those other things are needed. Let's try just applying a transform to this, seeing what happens. Transform equals scale -1, 1. Is that sufficient? Now we open this up. That broke. I mean, maybe this stuff was needed. Let's try it. Yeah, it was. Okay, great. Well, whatever then. There we go. CL x -1. Apparently, we're going to need more than just that, I think. Yeah, now it's facing the wrong way again. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't mind using this. Yeah. It's not like we need this to be like 10 bytes smaller, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that should fix it everywhere in the game. Let's go restart this. And make sure this thing got flipped, yeah. And then we would maybe need to write this down somewhere. It's flipped there. It's flipped there. Where else does this show up when you're actually in the battle? It's flipped, yeah. I think that's it. I don't know if there are any others, but I don't really care. All right, we're good. flip cycle.svg, or I guess like h flip. This makes it look more like a repeat button since the arrows go clockwise. Allows us in Twitch chat suggested this. Yeah, there. All right, and that's it. We're done with this task now, I believe. Have we done everything in here? Checkbox during a battle. Would be nice to have an auto battle button. Thoughts on an option to select it. Being able to auto battle beforehand. Yeah, so like at least 4 people said that they wanted this, and now it is done. The scaling is stored in the SVG. Part of the scaling is stored in the SVG. The whole point of scalable vector graphics, the S in scalable, is that you could apply, they're just pretty much almost like equations to form this image again. So you could scale from the program as well, and it should be fine. Flip the icon for right to left languages. I would not even bother. Okay, so now we revert everything. And then I'm going to need to check in those changes to the font that keeps getting auto wiped out. Yeah, going to do PRs today. Yep. All right, it fixed at least one problem. I just didn't know if it would fix multiple, so we're about to find out. It fixed just the one, yeah. Okay, remove unused import. Okay, we're going to go sync that and then mark this as done. This is done with, I did this across several commits directly in main. Flush, close. Hey, Mystical Cell, how you doing? What are the haps? Okay, how do we figure out this mystery? Why is McKenna popping into this font name over and over and over? And how do we fix it? Because I find this annoying. And I don't... It's... Godot is getting this from somewhere. Maybe... No, it was happening to Kevin too. I was going to say maybe I had to reload the project, but I don't think it's that. So just by building, it just produced this thing. And a different import, which that's fine. And this too, which that's not as fine. But yeah, why is this happening? Font name being overridden. Maybe just font name. There are only 4 issues? What? Where does this come from? I don't understand. There's nowhere we set this in here, right? Or something to do with your Godot folder? It might. Just to get my starter replaced in my car. Car starter replacement cost. How expensive is that? Average cost is approximately $550-ish. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Godot folder. I never pop into there. Where even is it here? Oh, what do we even look for? Probably something about the Skeleseller font in here. Font data. Let's look in here. Not supported. I don't know what a .font data file even is. There's an MD5. That's not going to help me. Yeah, I'm not sure. Does anyone comment on this? Godot font name wrong? Trouble with custom fonts. This doesn't show anywhere else in my entire project. So it's not like I have a project setting and it's getting overwritten somewhere. Can't see any references. Maybe you can take the font out of the theme and add it again. This is set to Skeleseller main, so we just delete it. Save this. Then, what's the change that shows up here? Next resource is gone. It still has the font name, but let's build it. Oh man, what did it do? No, it's still there. What is doing? Wait, it's the bold one? It's the bold one. Oh, I didn't check the bold one. Okay, let's undo this. Just revert the whole thing. And then let's go open up the bold one. Maybe that'll have some other piece of information here. Fonts, bold. Does this have something in it? Validation report, name, table structure, just skip. Is there anything in here? Language support, details, usage, identifiers. I don't see anything here either. It may also be in the label styling or other component. But why is it getting this name? And why is no one else having this issue? I guess we could still try the same thing and just delete the other font. That doesn't make sense, does it? Basic fonts.tres. Font name is coming from here. The next line above this is about this font file. And this font file is the default font. Where's that used? Maybe this doesn't... What if we just deleted the whole thing? It's probably dumb, but I'm gonna try it, I think. Yeah. So just say goodbye to that. And say goodbye to all of this. I didn't think it was this long. Let's do it the better way then. Okay. I don't know what the fallout of what I just did will be. But probably I will have broken the game. So what? That font shouldn't be showing? Yeah. And I broke a lot of other things too. But did it somehow add that back in now? No. But I have to go set all these things again. But maybe setting them all again won't cause the problem to happen again. What else did we change? I don't know. I do not know. Let's open this up. Probably need to relaunch the whole thing, right? Basic fonts. Won't even open this now? I might have broken the file. Yeah, it certainly seems like I did. All right, I don't know. I think we just let it overwrite what I did. I'm just bummed this is even happening. Like, where is this coming from? Font name. Maybe we can search through Godot's. Just get to the repo. Maybe I can search through a code and find out how they output font name. Set font name. Set name cache 0. Mac OS. What is this stuff? Do you have a font of that name installed on your system? There was a post where the font was gotten from the system rather than the font file. I might. Where do I see fonts? Font book. My font. Is McKenna here? No. No, I don't think I even have it installed. I think it's coming from the font somewhere. Okay, how about this? Does Godot somehow introduce this? I'd be incredibly surprised. No. And that's how you spell it, right? I just build from here. Wait, no, I know how that's how you spell it because I typed it here. So I don't have it on my machine. It's not in the Godot repo. So it must be somehow the font name is getting pulled from something. But if it's not in the font file, then where could this possibly be? And it could be that it's some value that's just getting juggled in memory, like it used to exist, because maybe that's the font we were using, and then it looked good in the game, and you replaced it, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to go looking through this stuff though. I think this is a waste of time. Yeah, that's my conclusion. Let's just check this in. It's not worth it. It's not happening now. I think I need to open town. There it goes. Yeah. All right, well, we'll check this in. And in my licenses file, I'll just say, note that I cannot figure out why, excuse me, the reference to McKenna keeps popping back up after opening the town scene in Godot and running the game. But it's not worth trying to figure out. What matters to me is the licensing, and he said he made this font himself, so why is this? Oh, I never hit save. So yeah, I'm not gonna worry with this. Except auto adjustment, automatic adjustment of font name. I don't know why this is happening. I looked into it and figured it's not worth the time. The impact is essentially zero. Well, the impact is zero as long as we ignore the change and just allow it, I guess. Hey, Dark. All right, we should probably take a break. Then I think we'll look at PRs. And then we're only going to do small things the rest of the day. I don't want to start anything major. I wrote some feedback watching Paja's video again. I'd like to maybe do the tip system stuff, but we'll look into all that. Is it jump time? It's jump time. again, everybody. Close the game. A hepta. A1 peso. And Hafe. Hafe? Mobile on sell data stuff? Yeah, I know. All right, we're going to go look at PRs. Okay, interesting. So we'll start with updated 1 minute ago. Typically, I would start with the lowest number, so I guess let's do that. All right, this closes 394. This adds a set of controls that detect when the mouse is hovering them. When that happens, they'll trigger an event, and the tile will make the camera move in the appropriate direction. We decided to implement it in code and using anchors and offsets because it gives us flexibility to change the way the controls are laid out without having to manually do it in the editor or even to support multiple modes and layouts. A couple things I'd like input in. I can do in this PR is send a follow-up. Currently, camera panning actions, WASD, and arrows will override this functionality. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's good. Couple questions. I'm assuming that this should be an opt-in setting. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't actually know what people are going to want for this. The last games that I remember having this sort of functionality, and I don't even know if this is true anymore, but Command and Conquer, maybe like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and maybe like The Sims. I feel like it is a lot of simulation games that have it. And as I mentioned, maybe I'm not even correct about this. So maybe it should be on by default. I think we should probably test that, but I'm gonna write that I'm at least leaning toward that. Leaning toward having pan at the edges on by default. Just seems like people would want that. Should we add a setting for the region size? I don't think so. Should we add it for the region layout? Oh, actually, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think we'll see what feedback says. Because if you're playing in full screen, then getting close enough to the side of the screen should be easy because you can just slam your mouse there. But I recognize that if you're in full screen on like an ultra wide monitor, that the physical distance you have to move your mouse is larger. So maybe that's frustrating for players. It's like LoL and Dota. I have not played either game, so I don't know. Do they automatically pan the camera when you move to the sides of the screen? And if so, are those it does? Okay, is that feature on by default? Like if I just install the game right now, is that the default setting? Because I think that'd be further proof that this should just be the default here too. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think we probably should do that. LoL and Dota do this too. All right, left in some debug methods for the regions. I think they're useful. I also think at some point we may want some indication when they're being hovered, so we can use it's already there. That's fine. There are a couple things that are not critical right now and can change or tweak later if needed. I went with 8 regions because it made the most sense to me, and I think it's the right direction or right decision. However, how those 8 regions are distributed can be changed to improve the UX. For example, here's how the regions look in the game. Yeah, so I'm guessing 4 corners and then 4 sides. I don't know what the black is, though. What is that? What is that black there for? Huh, maybe it's explained. However, we control... Oh, I think it's just a drawing glitch or something. We control the size of the regions. We can also control the anchors too, for example, make corners bigger. I think this feels more natural, but I'd like more people to try it out. Artifact of the highlighting. Okay, gotcha. Added delay for the movement to start. I did this because it was becoming annoying having the camera pan and moving the mouse around or between windows. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's try this out. So this is 617. First of all, what am I on here? Does this mean I have one thing stashed? I think I do. Get stashed list. Don't outline shadows. Improve outlines and highlightable elements. What is this? What is this indeed? I don't remember this. I'm gonna just delete this stuff. I don't care. Hit reset hard. Hit status. So can we, whoops, it auto corrects me. But can we delete this then from here? Git stash help. Git stash drop. There. Okay, cool. Now let's go check out the PR. It is 617. And let's try it out. Reload, close, and launch it from here. Now let's close out this font book thing and all these tabs I have open. Oh my God, it changed this again. Oh, no, that's because Kevin's branch doesn't have this. That's fine. We'll just have to reject that. All right, so I get into the game and I just put the mouse at the top. I think this is probably much easier in full screen where I'm not worried about going beyond the boundaries of the window. Oh, I still can? Oh, we probably need like a trap mouse thing then. Oh, man. All right, let's write that down. May need a setting to trap the mouse in the window for full screen. Well, at least on Mac. I don't know how this works on Windows. At least on Mac, I can just drag the cursor, or I can just move the cursor to the other monitor while in full screen. Is that how it works for everything? I think it is. I think if I have like a YouTube video full screen, I can just move to another thing. Oh, and then the corners of my screen do something special. And what, we can't use it with the town menu there? Oh, because there's another bug here. Okay, yeah. That may be a Mac thing. It should stay. Okay. Yeah, I wonder, does Mac, it must have that feature, right? Yeah, it must. Because I guess really the way they, I don't know. But it should be something we can figure out. Although we need a way of, I don't know, we'll look into that. Yeah, anyway, basic features working. So let's try it out as far as usability goes. So let's say I have an item on the ground and I want to drag this over to the side. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think some amount of acceleration might be nice. Yeah, borderless being a user decision, I think is fine. Also, this seems to move the tooltip or the held item. Although I'm not very concerned about that. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a very good feature to add. We got the feedback from a lot of people. Let me take a look at the code. Screen edge camera pan regions. Sounds good. Since we ignore the magnitude. Yeah, probably. Set velocity. Set movement direction. We call it velocity though, don't we? Yeah. It is set velocity. It just, yeah, I guess it happens to be done with this. Direction. I'll just say we ignore the magnitude of this vector. Now let's remove the camera drag. I think if you're accidentally dragging when picking up items, we probably need to increase the size of these maybe. I'm not sure. But let's say you couldn't drag by doing that. I think we could have a feature for it. Like don't allow you to drag the camera like that. But then I think we need to expand the features that we have here. Oh. Again, I think we'll see what feedback says. Yeah, this sounds good. Okay, anything else that we need for that? No. And why did we do this? Because we call this from multiple places now? Oh, because this is public and needs to get called from the town. Screen direction triggered and untriggered. Oh, and I did not test this with also doing this. Okay. There's one about the town menu, and I think you mentioned something. Yeah, I think Dark submitted a fix for this. Right now, there's a bug where you can't drag from here. So that's also what's probably stopping these regions from working. And like I said, I'm pretty sure Dark fixed that. Can I pick up customers and drop them in the lake like Roller Coaster Tycoon? Imagine if you did that and they became like zombies and then started attacking your town. Now that would be a funny Easter egg. Any estimate on doing the paid coaching? Uh, I I don't know yet exactly. Are you interested in joining it? Is that why? Because let me at least write that down. I had at least M2 here, yeah. After checkpoint 4. Oh man. Yes, okay. I'll write it down. All right, people who expressed an interest in paid mentoring. M2 dev, human puppet, and then DM that I got. Yeah. Yeah, I might start that up again in March. I don't know. There's some prep I would need to do for it. Like the contracts right now are set up for me doing free mentoring. So I need to update it for having it be paid. And then I also need to set up some like invoicing system, and I want to do that stuff. Did I enjoy doing it? I enjoyed doing it mostly. I think there are times when I was busy on Skeleseller and it felt a little like, okay, well, I'm delaying my Skeleseller work for this. But yeah, I generally I like the mentoring itself once I'm in the session. And that's why I say like the minimum time I could do this is March because of just how important February is for Skeleseller. We have the Steam festivals we got to prep for. All right, let's keep looking at the code. So camera pan region is entirely new, so I'll just look at it in the editor. And that's the only stuff that really remains, right? Yes. Also, actually, technically, I believe the camera is public, so we could just have this stuff work from over there. And I might even prefer that, but we'll take a look. When are you starting your tech podcast? I can only do so many things. Camera pan region. Okay, what do we got here? So a bunch of debug stuff. We create a region. This sets the position of it. And it should just have mouse enter and exit stuff, right? Yep. Yep. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Cool. And then this screen edge. Okay, I'm assuming this is in seconds. Yes, it is. So let's write it here in seconds. Region directions. Sounds good. Region offset multiplier. Sounds good. Current direction, what's that used for? On mouse entered region, pass in the direction. So each one of these knows its own direction. Yeah, this we can simplify a little bit. All right, yep. Delay timer, screen direction triggered and untriggered. And this should just be on mouse enter and mouse up. Timer will be stopped if it already fired and triggered a region. Otherwise, it didn't happen yet, and we can just stop it. Stopped. This is on exit. That's assuming that we already, I see. So we need to know that this thing had triggered to begin with. Current direction is vector 2 direction. Wait a second. We have the town stuff. So if we wanted to do acceleration, we would need to actually have this be set a velocity, which I do think we should consider at some point. I did like that to not pass the town, but yeah, we could do that. The only reason I say that is that we have a lot of code in the town already, and whatever we can move outside of it is usually pretty good. But yeah, I think this is pretty sensible. Let me just continue reading through the rest of this. Use these to control whether the region... Oh, it's a little linting issue there, which is what's annoying about this. Yeah, I think this should be written up above for this. Because, yeah, otherwise we're going to have a linting issue here forever. Debug is visible. Here, yeah. Use this and CCref equals debug highlight on hover. To control whether regions become visible on the screen is helpful for debugging. Yeah. Because those comments should not really be placed like that. Yeah. It's just, I always find it kind of silly when the linting rule tells us one thing and then the auto formatter puts us into that state where the linter rule is going to trigger. Hey, Kerpolini. Saw you join Discord. Welcome to the Discord. And hey, Campbell Soup. Anyway, easy enough to change that here. I think that's totally fine. All right, looks good. We use this timer to slightly delay triggering a region. This makes it harder to accidentally move the camera when moving the mouse around. Sounds good. Timer timeout. One shot, auto start. Mouse filter set to ignore. How does that work? I guess mouse entered and mouse exited still get... Oh, each region has it set. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, I think everything's good here. So I'll check in the tiny changes that I made. We don't need that. All right, I'm going to say superficially improve camera pan code. I mostly changed comments, formatting, and addressed linting issues. There are no functional changes here. Now, why did town change? Oh, yeah, sure. Didn't see the linter complaining. I think it was. It was in VS Code at least. I think it would have if we'd run .NET format. So have this on by default. That was already the case, right? There are no settings for this stuff. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't know if people would want to turn this off. But yeah, I do think an acceleration would probably help make it feel less jarring. Yeah, so follow-up PR for this, I think. And then this, I think people would want on Mac. We're probably not going to end up getting feedback on this because of how few Mac users there are. But yeah, if I go up to the top of the screen, it still actually works. If I go to the bottom, okay, it doesn't because it does there too. There's a lot of little weird things because Mac uses like every part of the screen to do something. If I go to the bottom right, I switch to this view. All right, so I'll file some issues on that. Trap or add option on Mac OS. I don't know if it's worth saying that. I'll just say add acceleration to the camera pan feature. This is 394. With 394 complete, we should accelerate the movement or like ease into the movement rather than jumping to the maximum velocity immediately. I think this will feel less jarring. I wonder what other games do for this. I don't think the acceleration time even needs to be all that long. Maybe 0.5 seconds could be enough. All right, this is just a UX thing and camera if we have it, we don't. And this isn't super important to do. Okay, the code looks good and the feature feels good to me. There are two observations that I had. One is this, and the other is the mouse cursor isn't confined to the window on macOS, which does make this a bit harder to use. Where am I going on vacation? I haven't shared that, and I probably won't share it. But the goal of the vacation is to just relax. It is not like a sightseeing kind of trip. So I plan on just relaxing. I'm very much looking forward to that. We stuck in Chicago for the week and be cold? What's the temperature there now? Chicago weather. 19. Those who think in Celsius is -7. Yeah, that's pretty chilly. Here it's been in the high 30s, I want to say. So still above freezing, but not much. And that's roughly the temperature where I feel it in my face. Everything up above 40, it's fine. You can wear like a gloves and a scarf or something and you're good. But yeah, I want face protection at lower than 40. Don't mind me, 70 degrees in SoCal right now. Yeah. Yeah, Southern California I think has like near perfect weather. Same here, yeah. And it makes it harder to walk outside. Also, actually, even gloves, I feel like I want hand warmers or something at those temperatures. I don't feel like the thickness of the gloves even really helps that much. Maybe you get like super thick ones, but otherwise I have light ones and I have heavy ones, and in both of them my hands are cold in the 30s. I need hand warmers. Mouse cursor isn't confined to this, makes it hard to use. I don't know if this is worth addressing without hearing some feedback on it. So I didn't file an issue for this. Okay, comment. It's been in the 30s in the morning in Arizona and I hate it. How often does that happen? I have 60s all week here in Central California. At least Chicago will be in the high 30s all week. It's been the same here. At night it might get down to around 10-ish. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, and I like it being brisk out. I think it's fine. When it's cold, I like it at first. And then I'm like, okay, now I don't want to be outside anymore. Yeah, Pacific Northwest weather is amazing. Almost never. It's only early mornings for maybe a month or two out of the year. I see. Yeah, I'm watching Breaking Bad for like the fourth time. And there are certain things I always get a kick out of in shows. Breaking Bad's meant to be a realistic enough show, but I always get a kick out of the things that are not at all the focus of the show. Like, for example, what kind of house can the characters afford? And the main characters of Breaking Bad, it's pretty realistic. They live in New Mexico, and they're not in like a tiny shack, and they're not in a mansion or anything. Whereas I'd say Friends was kind of unrealistic in that they're all in New York City, and they're not working like super high paying jobs, and they have like mega apartments or something. So anyway, little details like that I think are kind of funny. And the weather is one of those things that pops up. Like the characters are never wearing coats as far as I remember in pretty much the entire show. And it's like, wow, yeah, that would be what it would be like to live there. I don't know what that's like because I wear coats and hoodies and stuff for most of the year here. All right, so did I actually click the merge button? Because I don't recall. Yes, I did. All right. I left a comment after you. Seems to lock the mouse, but will be annoying during the development to have your mouse not be able to close the window. No, but this will only be for full screen and only on Mac, right? Yeah, I think, and we'd probably make it a setting as well. So we'd have like a video settings thing, like confine mouse to window. And actually, we could just put it there no matter what, I guess. I don't know what that would do in windowed mode on Windows. I like how TV sitcoms show people that are low income people living in high income houses. Yeah, and like if it's not ruining the immersion, I don't think it's a huge problem. But sometimes a little unbelievable. There was a scrapped opening for The Office, I believe, where Jim sets up a Matrix scenario and hires 30 people to try to convince Dwight that he's in the Matrix. And people are like, okay, that's a little bit much. That's I don't know how he would have done that. He's putting a lot of money toward that. Okay. I'm gonna leave this as is for now. So this is done. These things are all commented on. Next PR is this one. Make map filling slightly better. Moved the filler tile maps, expanded existing cliff tile maps, added new tile maps, adding grass and forest. It looks like in a really wide window. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. This is great. Jim seems like a dude that barely spends any money. Yeah, although he did buy his parents' house, right? I didn't check in the font thing. I sure hope not. Doesn't really matter. As long as there are no merge issues. All right, next up is 689. We're going to take it pretty easy the rest of the day. Maybe there'll be another like 4 hours of streaming, but I'm not going to be rushing. I'm not going to be trying to like get a million features done. We're going to just try to make slow and steady progress, and that's it. It's the day before I don't stream for like a week, and I don't want to come back after a week and have a ton of things, and I'm like, where did I leave off with this? I think this is going to be a fantastic change. We were just talking about ruining immersion, and this is one of the things that did ruin immersion is when you zoom out and you see some like bright green area. How do I get this to happen? I think like this. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little strange to see copy pasted trees, but I think it's fine. Yeah. And if I do it this way? Yeah, cool. Some metadata with the old name. It's possible, yeah. I just could not find out how. It would have to be in a font file in a way that I can't examine it. But like I said, it's just not worth it. This is eventually going to get fixed once we're all on the same branch, and we'll just have a reference to McKenna in it, and it shouldn't be a problem. All right, so this should have changed very little. Yeah, 2 scenes, and it's probably like a mega amount of... I recognize there's going to be a lot of data in here. Now, I am curious, how big are these files? Environment probably got to be huge, didn't it? Game, scenes, environment. Where is that? Town, I guess. Environment. Yeah, how big is this? 2 MB. And out of curiosity, compressed, how big is it? About 400 kilobytes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah. Changes use Godot's scattering fill that randomly places stuff. Yeah, I think as far as commenting on stuff, it's like gray is going to be super obvious. Tons of people are going to comment. Green is going to be obvious, and tons of people are going to comment. And now trees looking like they're repeated is probably going to be like not worth commenting on. That's my guess. Maybe someone's going to be like, look, super nitpick, but the trees are obviously copy pasted when you zoom out for half a second. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess it's not just zooming out for half a second, though. It's when you set your scale such that you could see more than you're supposed to be able to see. So if I just increase the size of this, for example, then I guess it's obvious. But I'm not very concerned about this. Wait, what's going on right now? I can't move the window. Oh, I see, because it wasn't centered. Oh, isn't that a problem? I think that might be a problem. I think you expand the window. So I start like this, and I expand the window. I can't pan the camera anymore. And it's not unless I zoom out that it fixes itself. That seems like an issue. No, wait, I still can't? Is this just a zooming thing? I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. If people aren't going to complain about it, then I'm not going to try to find some fake issue right now. Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think it looks great, but it looks better than it did. All right, thank you very much for doing this. General impression is that it's much better than what we had. And if people comment on the copy pasted trees, then perhaps we could easily improve this. Yeah, and I'll copy what Darkstorm said here. So merge. Really on the sticks now. Big clump at the top right. That one up there. Is that a new thing? Or was that already there? That might be new, and that might be a problem. Yeah, it's new. Oh man. Well, unfortunately, reverting this is going to be very tough. But yes, this should be undone. All right, I'll take a picture in context. Easy, there's a separate layer. All right, well, I'll file this. Remove copy pasted trees. They're northeast of the weapon shop. I'll say Dark found this issue. This is worth fixing for the festivals because it looks pretty bad. So I'll put this as a high priority town festival. Oops, wrong festival thing. Create. Okay, next PR is ignore mouse on town menu and notifier containers. I think I read this already. I had the same problem with the first notifier, so just ignoring mouse on both parent and VBox containers solves this issue. I believe we don't have to do anything with their sizes. Dead space comes from the first container. Also, we're not using any input events from those containers anyway, so just ignore them. Yeah, the bit about them increasing their size, I'm not really sure about that either. And I would have expected us to be able to set it to shrink begin on all of these things, and then it would have fixed this, but I guess it doesn't. So if we set that, and then it shouldn't matter if this gets expanded or not. It should just be that. Maybe it's not working because we need to set it over here. Town menu, where are you there? But it's in a VBox container, so shrink center, shrink begin doesn't matter. I guess this one needs to be set to shrink begin. This gets set like that. This doesn't, I don't know, doesn't matter. I want to try this. I know I'm still on, I should be on Kevin's branch, right? Yeah. I want to try this and see if this fixes this. I don't mind if we just get rid of the mouse listeners either. That's fine too. All right, so let's set it to 2x. And now I'm going to try clicking from here. And yeah, I cannot. I'm not sure. Tried so many things. Yeah, we'll just go with the easy solution for now. It is weird that this happens though. And it's one of these VBox containers and it's not shrinking to the level that it should. Still, I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to figure out what's causing this. It's set to be at the top left. It has a size, but the size should shrink as its items inside of it shrink. And that's not happening. Yeah, this thing is not getting smaller. So that's our problem that we have. Shrink begin. Yeah, these don't matter. Maybe because it has a size, I just shrink this. But then if I expand this again. Oh, wow, it is that? Oh my God, are we? Okay, never mind. Then this is super easy. We just have to shrink this down to basically nothing. And then whenever this thing loses its size, it will automatically fix itself. So that should hopefully do it. Let's try this out. Hey, Karada. Can we drag from under here now? Yeah, wow. That's pretty silly. There is still like a 2-pixel thing that you can't drag from. But yeah, what does this change look like? So just set the size flags and then the size of the thing. Wait a second, what? It should just be this. But there's a size we got rid of. Where'd the size go? Oh, offset bottom is what did it? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, man. All right. Well, we should probably fix the next issue with a couple of pixels being underneath this. Haven't thought about toggling the visibility. I don't think the size... How about this? Let's switch back to main. And let's delete all this stuff. Because the toggling the visibility was just for me to emulate what happens when things are removed from this. We should... Okay, yeah, I see. We can... Oh, we can't change that even. Huh. It's only when you do this. But I think this is because it's changing the custom anchors or something underneath. Like if I put this back to where it was and set this to custom, I think it's because we have an offset here. And if I just change this, yeah, that's what we needed to do. It's because this is anchored. So that size is a computed size. And by doing this now, we fix it. So now if we turn this off, it shrinks. Yeah. Now we do need to set a separation of 0 here. What is doing that at the bottom? That's the notifier being there? The notifier itself shouldn't have input events, though, I think. And now, actually, I'm not even sure that this second container is needed. I think we can just use this VBox container. So we put this inside of here. Delete this one, I guess. And shrink this one. Custom, offset, delete. Yes, that fixes that. And then the separation between these being smaller and then the notifier being off. And then there would just be the shadow. I don't mind that 1 pixel being clickable. I'm not going to do anything about that. But the notifier probably shouldn't absorb events. So we can just set its mouse. Oh, it's already set to ignore. But it didn't seem to work that way, right? Yeah, I can't drag from here. Well, what does it think I'm clicking? Debugger, MISC. The VBox container still. Even for this bit? Apparently. Oh, I see. Because of the notifier size. It's not that the notifier needs to ignore mouse clicks. It is that the VBox container needs to ignore it. So we can sort of address both problems, I guess. If we just click ignore on this, now there shouldn't be an issue clicking beneath it. No, there still is. I might need to restart this. But then I guess you'd be able to click through this panel, which would be weird. I think we need to do this a little bit differently. One thing that still I think will happen when there's a notification, you may not be able to drag from the right of the menu. I think I have some idea of how to anchor this so it doesn't happen. I can send a PR later. Yeah, I think that would be good. All right, how do we get a notification to pop up here? No, we can drag from the right side now. Yeah, this is pretty much everything I would want, I think. When do we unlock fishing? I've got ideas for that, but that wouldn't be for a while. Okay. Yeah, I think the combination of those things should be good. So I guess let's check these things in. I also changed the town menu itself, but I don't think this was necessary. We just set this to shrink. But yeah, I don't think we need any of that. Let's delete it all and just see if it still works the right way. So now if we hide this, good. It might have been necessary if we were to hide individual buttons. So as an example, if I set editable children and we turned off like this and this, no, everything looks like it's fine. Okay, so our only thing we needed to do was this set of changes. And the notifications still look fine if we do this. Yeah. In fact, we could actually have this go back up to the separation that it had. So I just delete that, and you shouldn't be able to drag from there. No, that's not working the right way, I think. Oh, wait, it is. It's that you need to drag the mouse far enough away, and I wasn't doing that. So it's only that one pixel there that you can't drag by. But if I click even the pixel beneath that, I can. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. So our total set of changes. Why did the town menu change? I didn't do anything there. I reverted that. I think this is getting this automatically. I don't really care about that. Yeah, the why you can't drag if you move your mouse very, very slow is the camera threshold that we have. Kevin added this in. There is a, well, there's a threshold somewhere. Okay, well, I don't remember where it is. Oh, wait, it wouldn't be on this branch, maybe? No, it would be on this branch. Excuse me, I'm not sure where that is then. But anyway, it's coming from the camera stuff that was done. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna check this in, and we're gonna mark this as closes 657. So what do we do here? Fix or remove blank, remove clickable space under town menu. Fixes 657. Yep. The problem is that we had an offset on the VBox container, but we couldn't drag the size of the control in the editor to remove it. We had to click custom anchors to be able to drag to change the offset. Change the offset, yeah. Or type it in. Okay, so check that in. I'm gonna push that. It'll mark that issue as complete. Good. And then the commit should be here. Good. And then we will put this in here. I ended up changing the offset of the anchor on the VBox container. In addition to removing the mouse thing, right? Oh, I could have just clicked that. Yeah, in addition to changing the mouse filter. In addition to changing its mouse filter. Mouse filter in this commit. So I'm going to close this, but thank you for looking into it. Yeah, I feel bad because whenever I end up kind of stomping on work, I feel bad. But I agree with the like there was it was worth looking into how this should have been fixed. I think the other thing we should probably write here is there was some V-box container thing. If you want the container to shrink to the size of its children, you just need to wrap your container inside one that does shrink to its children. If it's still not shrinking, then perhaps you have the anchors. Perhaps the anchors are setting a minimum size without you realizing it. Changing to custom anchors will show the offsets. And if they're greater than 0, then it could be why your control isn't shrinking. Yeah, okay. All right, so PRs are done. So now we are on this hang out, tackle very small tasks, enjoy the last day before vacation. Yeah, let's look at the feedback I had from Page's video, the rest that I hadn't watched. We should have the scale be 1x on a 1080p screen. I don't recall if we did that already. 1080. If I could search for 1080 properly, geez. Yeah, here. So if we're greater than this size, it's going to set this. I think that's fine, but that's fine assuming that I made this change recently. Otherwise, I'm mistaken about something. Was this made in the last 4 days? Local settings saver. History. January 16th. That's not the last 4 days. How did this happen? No, this doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait. Oh, I know how it happened. I thought Page had a 1080p monitor. He doesn't. He has a 1440p monitor. Oh, so then I'm not sure what we should do there. Although I thought of an idea yesterday. What if we had the game scale setting, but then we also had a battle window scale setting? So if you want it to be zoomed out, but then you want the battle windows to still be like 2x their size, you could just change that. I think that could be a good idea. But I'm kind of wondering, okay, I have a 1440p monitor, so let me just move this over there. I won't be able to stream it, but let's see. Oh, but on Mac, does that change anything? This is not how it looked in Page's stream. I don't understand this. Let's go to Twitch. Renegade Page. Let me mute this. Actually, let me get rid of a bunch of this stuff. Okay, now we go find the Skeleseller stream. Where's that? There it is. And an ad is playing, so I wait 3 seconds. All right, so here is a picture of his stream. And you can see the battle window is taking up, what, about a third of the screen? Why is that not happening for me? Because I'm also on the same scale setting and on my 1440p monitor. I guess because it detects that it's higher DPI or something. It's like he was at 4x scale. I think this is probably just a Windows thing. I don't know. Yeah, this is on 2x. But it's on 2x for me as well on a 1440p monitor. And it does not take up that much space. So what's the difference between Windows and Mac here? Or is it our monitor? Was he playing on window or full screen? He's playing on borderless at one point. But he started on windowed. But even regardless of the setting, mine's still not doing what his is doing. I wonder if it's worth booting up my Windows machine. Because here's functionally, here's why this matters. We have a resolution where we say you should be in 2x scale. And that resolution threshold is like pretty much 1440p. So this leads to 2x and 1080p leads to 1x. And the problem that we kind of had is that I think 2x is the right size for UI, but not for battle windows, I guess. Anyway, I'm not going to be too concerned about this. We're going to eventually add in the UI scale, and we can also add in the battle window scale if we want to. So I think we'll just ignore this for now. I just want to make sure we didn't have it set for 1080p screens because I misremembered this yesterday. All right, so ignore that. So next, he suggests that you have to unlock the ability for your skeleton to stock items. I think we've talked about this before, but I don't remember if I disliked the idea. I think I did. Let's just try it. Yeah. So you pick what looks like a 2x on my PC. Okay, let me see. So yeah, pretty much the same as how it looked for Pi. So maybe this is some Windows thing. How do you feel about 1x on your computer, Kevin? Like is 1x where you'd want to be when you're playing the game, or is it 2x? Because I always use 1x. Okay, then let's set it as 1x unless you're at a 4K monitor, I guess, on Windows. I'll go do that. So instead of setting this to 1080, we'll set it to 1440. Whoops, wrong one. We'll set it to 1440. Okay, so the particular value here is the highest value where you'll get a 1x, the highest game window height where you'll get a 1x game scale. E.g., if set to 1440, it means that on a 1440p monitor, you'll still be at a 1x scale. But 1441p would be 2x. This specific number was chosen for Windows because it seems like most people with a 1440p monitor want the game to be at a 1x scale. The user can always change this anyway. It's just set for first time, so I don't think it's a big deal. So let's check this in. Default to 1x scale on Windows, as long as your monitor is 1440p or smaller. That means that really only 4K monitors, I know it's more than that, will be at a 2x scale, which is a good thing. All right, so that was that. Next thing, ability to unlock items. So you start the game, you get your guild, you get your first adventurer, do your first battle. This should hopefully, I never tested this earlier, but this should have been pointing at the right thing. It is. So you do your first battle, and then as soon as you win this battle, your skeleton is going to be walking over here to go collect that item. The question is, should they? Or should this item just not disappear and you have to move it there, and then you unlock the ability for this to get automated? So let's analyze the pros and cons of this. So question, not really a problem, but should your skeleton automatically stock items from the very beginning of the game? And pros and cons. It makes more sense. This is a very small pro, but I want to write it down. It makes more sense from a story perspective that you actually want to help the town you founded. Cons, it doesn't teach you about manually moving items, and I think that was the main thing. And it doesn't let you feel like you unlocked automation. Oh, I'm not concerned about the start fading items later. All we're focused on is this question. So like, should this thing be the case or not? And then if we decide that, oh, there was a problem with should items go away or shouldn't they, we can solve that in a different way. We can make it so that you get a new item or the items stay around for longer, but that's not important right now. Just should we even do this? So I guess I'd have to think about it in terms of like actually no, yeah, how would you unlock it? I guess you just sell things yourself and then get the town perk. Does the skeleton start the game with you? Yeah, so you are the skeleton. It's just that you're not directly controlling them. That's why I was like, it's kind of weird. The basic story is that you were out adventuring and you got poisoned and died. Came back as a skeleton, started this town. And as a result of starting a town, I can't see you not helping stock the town. But there's this kind of weird thing in that, like, okay, fine, you're the skeleton, but since you're not directly controlling them, and since you can move items yourself, like, who's doing this in the world? Is it that the skeleton has like psychic powers, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't have an explanation for that. Also, welcome to the stream, Authorized. When unlocking automation, are you unlocking an overall game mechanic or upgrading the skeleton's abilities? I wouldn't say upgrading their abilities, it's just picking up an item, which is like a very mundane thing. So it's like the way we frame this for adventurers is this way. Hardworking adventurers. And it says, makes your adventurers transport and stock items just like you. So it's not really an ability. It's like, oh, they just stop being lazy. So we could have a perk here that says like, hardworking skeleton, you now stock items. But it's kind of weird from a, yeah, I guess that's another thing. I don't know how we would frame this if it were a perk. We'd say something like, your skeleton, you now automatically stock items, but you is overloaded. You're both the player and the skeleton. It'd be funny if someone cosplayed as the skeleton. Yeah, I agree. I'm sort of leaning toward not doing this. Maybe you, the player, are the skeleton's spirit or soul or something. Yeah, I think it'd have to be something like that. Although I don't think this is really all that pertinent to the story or the gameplay, so I don't know how we'd share that. And I don't think people are caught up on this right now. They're not like, well, I would enjoy the game, but I don't understand how I'm the skeleton and the player. Maybe pan to the skeleton after building a shop, then display a message after placing the item. A message about what the story is, you mean? Anyway, leaning toward just having your skeleton move items on their own. There is another consideration here. What if you had to unlock the ability to manually move items? Yeah, that it moves items to shops, yeah. So this could make a little bit more sense. We could call this like telekinesis or something like that. You can manually move items. Or maybe like your skeleton can move items with their mind. And then we say like note. This just means you can click items or something like that to move them. First person skeleton perspective. No, thank you. I like that better. So what would this mean? This would mean that when you start the game, there's actually nothing you can click really. You'd have to build your first shop and then build your town hall and start battles. And then this would have something in here that says like, yeah, telekinesis, you can move items. Is that fun? I feel like this is the opposite way that this works in a lot of automated games. Let's just better explain how to do it to players and introduce the mechanic. Yeah, but like I said, it just feels like the wrong order. It does let us gate the unlock / explanation of this, but it feels like the wrong order. you would get automation first and then the manual action. Also, I guess the other con here, we should frame this the other way. Pros of having to unlock automation would be it forces you to understand. I'm not sure this is a pro. Makes you feel like you made progress. It doesn't make sense from a story perspective, since you actually want to help the town you founded. To unlock something that you used to I guess automate something you used to do manually. Doesn't teach you about it. Yeah, so I guess this is kind of neutral. But like you would need to understand how manual item movement works. I don't think it's hard. I remember the trees. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have to merge that. Merge tree PR. The other thing I'm thinking about is that Pige felt the need to comment on this. That's another thing to consider. If Pige feels the need, possibly other people will feel the need, and they might be like, yeah, why is my skeleton carrying this? So you'd get an item, and we'd have to say, like, cool, you got an item. You need to not only build a shop, but you need to drag the item to the shop. I don't know. I don't know. I think just saying after you build the shop, maybe it's just like, cool, now your skeleton will stock the item for you. Yeah. I'm leaning toward not doing this. And I'm leaning toward not having you unlock manually moving items either. Should I consider that some more? Yeah, I guess my only real pushback is just feels wrong that you get automation first and then manual actions next. And it's the only time in the entire game this would happen. We imported all the fonts earlier when we talked about it. Now it wants to make changes to the files even if I revert it. I don't know how to stop it. Yeah, that's what happened to me too. I don't know what did it. It's got to be something in the Godot folder. Maybe we could just wipe out the whole folder. You can't unlock the slime until manual movement is unlocked. Yeah, we would need to stop that, or allow you to unlock the slime and then just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything here for right now. But I do think this is tricky. So let's write this in the stream of consciousness. Are we having to unlock either skeleton automation or manual item movement? I'm leaning toward not doing either one. I don't want there to be more actions in the tutorial. You build the, yeah. You build the shop, but then you would need to drag the item to it. And I don't think it adds a lot. If anything, we could just clarify that your skeleton will automatically stock the shop. And RE unlocking manual item movement. I think we should just explain how it works via tip rather than requiring you to unlock it. Okay. NPCs need different lines of dialogue. I don't know if we have this written down anywhere. NPC. Nope. Well, we gotta add that. Make NPCs, or make shop. Oh, it was shopkeep specifically. We might have that written down. Flavor text to shopkeeps. This is done. Shopkeep. That in here. Yeah, where's the history of this? Okay. This was done as part of that close. Did I have something else though about this? Nope. I did not. As we search for shop. No. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. Make shopkeeps say different things from one another. Keyword NPCs. NPC dialogue. That's probably fine. Okay, so right now all shopkeeps, and I think we could just test this in the game right now. Let's get out of the tutorial. Revert. And close this too. Yeah. The reason I want to do this is because there's some like it's sort of cutesy flavor text in here, but all the shopkeeps have a chance of saying it. So this says, thanks for hiring me. And if you click them both, wait, they all did use unique stuff here. Oh, no, not there. They did not. Yeah. They just say the same stuff. So right now, all shopkeeps randomize their lines from the ones that they haven't said yet. But this is done on an individual basis. We should either make them all use the same pool of which lines they've said, or we should give them unique lines. I'm leaning toward the former, actually, despite what I wrote up here. I've literally never clicked those guys. Yeah, it's just flavor text. So it's not important. But what I don't want to have happen is you click shopkeep A and it says, you know, funny line of dialogue. And you click shopkeep B and it says that same line of dialogue. You'd be like, oh, that's seems like a bug. Or that they only ever say one thing. This is pretty minor, though. Let's create that. All right, don't think it was clear to him that mental swiftness gives haste to all abilities. Yeah, I think mental swiftness is just a somewhat complex ability given the game. So here's what we have right now. What's written. Grants a 20% chance when casting Fireball, Lightning Zaps, Ice Blast, or Stalagmite to hasten the next usage of all of those abilities by 50%. So the way this works, and this is not obvious, and I don't think Pige fully understood this when he was playing, but like Fire Blast or Fireball or whatever it's called is cast like every 3 seconds, and Lightning might be cast every like 5 seconds. So you might get lucky and cast Fireball and get Mental Swiftness, and now it makes it so that your next Fireball is going to be 1.5 seconds sooner, and your next Lightning is going to be 2.5 seconds sooner. So Fireball is making it so that all of your other spells are going to get cast sooner. Lightning has the same chance to make all of your other spells get cast sooner. And I don't think we're clearly communicating that here. I also don't think it really matters too much. But given that this is sort of fun for players to think about of like, okay, how are my skills synergizing with one another? I think it's probably worth doing that. Alternatively, it could be worth just changing inspiration. I think inspiration's kind of bad. Could make it increase the haste you get from that. That could be interesting. Why didn't I think of that? Inspiration. Inspiration itself is underwhelming. Consider reworking that too. Perhaps it should just grant even faster haste from mental swiftness. You have a 50% chance to lower the cooldown of all abilities on any spell cast. It's not really lowering the cooldown though. We could change it to do that. So I was simplifying it for this, but actually the way this works is, let's say 4 seconds have passed. So now it's 1 second remaining until you cast lightning. If you get mental swiftness, it's now going to be whatever, 0.5 seconds remaining. It actually won't shave off 2.5 seconds. So that's why I think it's sort of hard to word this differently. And maybe we should change mental swiftness as well. Maybe it's like you will randomly cast 1 extra spell immediately. That could be kind of nice. And it'll be clearer if that's what's happening. But then if it casts from itself, it would be potentially chained into quite a lot of spell casts. I'll just write that here too. Maybe even mental swiftness should be changed. Maybe something like every spell you cast has a chance to cause a fireball to be cast. Actually, that on its own would be really cool. Then it would give a lot more synergy with burn. Yeah, I think that's worth considering. And maybe something like this effect cannot trigger itself. The fireballs cast from this cannot trigger mental swiftness. This part is optional based on whether we make it a % chance. Yep. All right, I'm not going to do anything about that now, but yeah, I do think now it's clear it's worth changing that, because I think it's okay to have complex skills, or at least more complex skills, but not probably from your very first adventure in the game where you're like, what in the world is going on here? And then we could rename mental swiftness as something like arsonist. I don't know. But yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. All right, so now merge the tree PR. GP tree. Also removed a bunch from the edge of the visible areas. What am I looking at here? Oh, this is in the editor. I'm like, what's that giant black cloud over everything? But yeah, okay, sounds good. All right, let's go try this out. 700. We don't have any changes. Well, we do. We have the 1. I think that's pretty simple. GHPR checkout 700. Now we load this up and launch. Whoops. Yeah, clouds, birds. I think those sorts of things can be kind of nice. I had it written somewhere to add birds. We'd probably add some clouds for the same reason. Maybe they should. I'm gonna take the focus from this. Be somewhat sparse so that they don't cover anything important. Their Z order is going to be annoying to do. I need to bump dialogues or something. Okay, so now the copy pasted trees are gone. And if we were to zoom out, yeah, this looks good. Cool. Let's merge this. Thanks for doing this so quickly. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you, Dark. Cool. Merged. Back to main. Oh yeah, this issue. I don't want to look into this now, but yeah, there's a problem we have in the game, and I noticed it for a while, and I just never really realized what was causing it. But the icons in a battle are fuzzy, and I was testing this out yesterday, and I found out that it's because we have this in a sub viewport container, but I'm not sure what the fix is. And I don't like how this looks right now, but I don't know if it's worth changing. Yeah, I kind of want to look through some of the other issues we have and just see if there's any like easy, obvious stuff we can do. 10 seconds too long. Oh, this is one we could do. Yeah, let's tackle this right now. So your very first adventure takes a while to run to the portal. So I think the solution, there are two different solutions we could do here. Problem, your first adventurer walks to the portal and that takes a decently long time. Actually, how long does it take? We should probably figure that out. Stopwatch. Okay, let me do this off screen. And let's load up the game. Close out of this thing. So we're going to get the adventurer. They both have the same speed, so that doesn't matter. So as soon as I click start battle, all right, I was off by like half a second, but that's okay. And there, okay. I counted at the end for the time I missed at the beginning. So yeah, it is like 10 seconds. And that takes 10 seconds, almost exactly. So option number 1, give them a small speed boost for that segment and no other. Option number 2 is start them closer to the portal. Option number 3 is teleport them into battle. I don't like this. Starting them closer to the portal, how would we even do that? Because I want them to be on the screen. Oh, I guess I could just wander around your town. Yeah, like as soon as you hire the adventurer, we could make it so they just start wandering. And they go toward the portal anyway, and they hang out over there. That's not bad. Option number 4, as soon as you hire them, make them wander near the portal, but never so close that starting a battle will automatically create the window. You don't want the adventurers to be faster in general? No, because there's a town upgrade you can get that makes them faster. So I want you to want them to be faster. Here, these boost the speed of you and your adventurers while in town. And then I want people to just pay for this because I think it'll feel like an upgrade. But yeah, I don't want to punish people for just the layout of the town. Having people wait 10 seconds is kind of obnoxious. If we were to speed them up, every 10% speed is going to be minus 1 second. So, like, what's a reasonable amount of time to wait? I don't think making them move 50% faster is a good idea. Oh, although if we did that, you know what? We already have that coded in the game in the form of the customer or the worker spell. So we could just apply the worker spell, basically. How do I want to do this? I think it'd be very obvious. That's the other problem. Every 10% we do makes it more obvious they're moving slower afterward. So I think 20% might not be super noticeable, but then it's still going to take 8 seconds in total. So is this even ever a solution, really? Like, just for laughs here, let's increase their speed to a crazy amount. Where do we add their nav speed component? Nav speed, navigation agent. I thought they have a nav speed somewhere. Speed. Am I making this up? Nav speed component. Yeah, where does the thing get added? Oh, walking entity has it. Init. Init is called from here. So we just initialize this with a walk speed of 200. Adventure is just gonna like dart over to the portal. It'll also probably make you sick from the camera moving so fast. People notice that when I got slower. Yeah. They would notice this for sure. That's why I was saying I think a 10% chance or 10% speed boost they wouldn't really notice, but then also it would only shave a second off, which is why I don't think this is a solution, and I'm just doing this for fun. But yeah, we start a battle now, and this thing darts over there to the portal. And yes, you would definitely realize that, wait a second, they didn't always move that fast. So yeah, I think we just need to make the adventurers walk somewhere. And maybe not even to the portal, maybe just the potion shop. Maybe they just go to the potion shop and park themselves there. That's a good time delay though. Yeah, 5 seconds or so. Yeah, and there's okay. So if you just think about this, it's not quite a straight line that they take, but it's kind of close enough to a straight line that we can just approximate it that way. So they have to walk from here to, is there a line tool? Yeah, they need to walk from here to here. So where's the halfway point? Like roughly there-ish, which is the potion shop. So yeah, if we just have them park themselves like right around here, then the amount of time it takes them to walk from there to there is 5 seconds, which is like they moved at double speed. So I think that's pretty reasonable. So let's do that. So you hire an adventurer, and at least for your first adventurer, they have a special state. That special state is adventurer waiting to start battle state. And this does nothing. Intended to be used at the beginning where they're just waiting for you to start a battle. They're just standing around. Yeah, so I think what we need to make them do is wander to the potion shop. Base wander. Add wander to location. Well, that's easy. That's very easy. And then what does this do? It does all the stuff I pretty much want. Except for it just removes the target location component afterward. Okay, I think that's pretty reasonable. So let's call that from there. And we'll override enter. Override enter. Destination functions, add. All right, so get wander target. We could have this just be anywhere in the town, but what is that? A vector? Yeah, a vector. Okay, let's just manually pick the vector for right now. In fact, don't we have this somewhere? Like shop data? All shop data dot get potion dot sign tile cores. I don't think that's correct. Ugh, I remember this not being what I want it to be. Position in town, that's what I want. All right, does this just work? Because if so, this is easy. Well, it's pretty much one line of code. This doesn't necessarily save you 5 seconds if you know what you're doing and you're clicking really fast, but no one's gonna do that. Not their first time. Excuse me, playing the game. All right, let's see. So we hire our first adventurer, and they should just start walking away from this thing. Yeah, but where they walk is going to be like here, and then they'll stop. Yeah, and they still look like they're walking. But if we zoomed in enough so that they're off screen, it wouldn't be so bad. I'll fix that next. And then, yeah, they walk from here over to the portal. So I think what we could do is, rather than have them just stay there, we could have them wander around where the potion shop is. Could even be wander around town normally, right? How far away could they get? Currently, every wander region is within like 5 seconds of the portal, I think. Although maybe not. Let's call the original thing that we had. Yeah, let's just call this. Oh, but then they'll just stand there when they're done. It's just the standing that I don't like. We could just make them idle, face forward. Because I think it's fine if they were standing still and had the walking animation, but when they walk and then they stand still and they still have the walking animation, that I don't like. Because there are only 2 times when your characters are stationary in the game. And it's when you hire an adventurer and when you have not built your potion shop, your worker will be standing there. Well, we could do what I had written here and just make them, once they get there, they just change animations. Yeah, I mean, that would work. All right, so how do we know that they've gotten there? tc.reach target, that's target location component. So we could get this from there, add it, and then listen, get component, target location component. entity on reach target. And then whenever you leave this state, we need to have it get rid of that too. This would be get component or null. Target location component TC equals this. Good. And then if TC is not null, we want to remove it. TC dot there. You plan to leave the foundations for the shop so you can't build there yet from the beginning? Wouldn't look nicer if everything was a forest first? I think we're probably going to make it look like a forest first too. That's harder to do because we have all these paths and we're going to need to either dynamically create paths or dynamically change the navigation or something else. But yeah, having those plots of land just look kind of bare, I think does not look good. Excuse me, I think we also need to delete something else from this, don't we? Yeah, remove the target location component when we do this. And I guess we could put this here. We already know it's there. So we could just say remove component, what, entity. Is there a thing for that? Remove component from entity. Yeah, that. This TC. All right, when they reach the target, we need to enter an idle animation, which I do not believe we even have. But we have setup animation frames. And that calls setup animation frames here. And we could just add in an animation called idle. And it could just be facing down, but with no actual animation. So let's go try that. Idle equals 5. Add idle. Set animation loop. There's no real... Wait, how do customers do this? What do they do? Force standing frame. Well. well. We already have this written out. But do we use an animated sprite component? Yes, we do. Okay, well then we don't even need to set this up, do we? We can just set that they're facing down, force the standing frame, and then have them leave it eventually and get rid of this. Idle from there and from here. And go back into adventurer, wait for battle. And when they reach the target, they'll just face down. Animated sprite component ASC. It knows how to do that. All right, this isn't going to make them leave the state properly, but that's where we just take whatever we did here. Set walk speed automatically. What was this done for? What was this done for? This seems silly. Force standing frame. Forces it to use a standing frame instead of walking. Does not affect the facing direction. So you call set facing direction. That makes fine. Or that makes sense. And then why is this done? Oh, we set their walk speed to 0? Why? Okay, I don't know why that was done. But this part makes sense at least. I wonder if we can delete that. Yeah, let's try that out. I don't know why we would have done that. If we're forcing a standing frame, they just shouldn't even look like they're walking anymore. Let me take a look. So they're going to walk over to there. They're going to then stop face down and hopefully not animate at all. Yeah. And then when I start the battle, they're going to start walking from there. Yeah, everything looks fine. Why did I do this then? Idle sets the walk animation speed. I think this was unnecessary. I think we just delete that and then delete this. And then spawn a million customers. I guess let's spawn the customers now without even rebuilding. I'm going to just spawn like a ton of these. And then we're going to speed it up a little bit. And we should see them idle at some point. Yeah. So they idle, they face downward, then they start walking again. Now I'm going to cut out these lines of code and we're going to try that again. And they should do exactly the same thing. I don't think there was any reason for this. Hey, Batman. How you doing? All right, customers. Customers ahoy. I can see them stopping, but I spawned too many, so I can't tell if they're working after that. Yeah, they look fine. Well, then maybe the skeleton should face forward. I know Dark was talking about this before, and I didn't think it was really necessary, but it's so easy that we might as well try it. The game has progressed a lot. Get rid of this dialogue. Okay, so we can delete that and that. And then do this in the skeleton one as well. Where's the skeleton one? Worker, I don't remember. I don't know. Beginning state. So what is this? Ponder built guild. All right, here's what we could do. This is a little bit weird. First of all, we should make a function out of facing downward. Facing down, where's that? I don't know. I need to go find it again because I've already forgotten. Adventure states. What was it? Waiting for battle. Yeah, this. So this and this. Why don't we just make a custom thing here? Public static void set entity is standing. Then take in the entity and take in bool is standing. And that's it. That's what we should do. Curious to know your reason for having too few comments in your code. Generally, I think comments should clarify the why you did something and not the what or the how. So these I think are bad, and this is I think good. So the what should basically be self-documenting. Like imagine if you have a function that says like public void set is visible, bool is visible, and you say something like this. The what is super obvious. The how is super obvious. If it's not super obvious, it's a hint that your function is probably too complex or what you're trying to do should be split up somehow. The why might not be obvious. So the why you might write here, like if this were visible, then the user would see a 1-frame flash or something like that when loading the game. I don't know. Just making something up here. So the reason why there are so few comments is because I don't feel the need to explain the why all that often. There are some comments here and there. Sometimes I think it's good to say like, float duration equals 4.2 and you write here like in seconds. I think those sorts of things are fine. You could name it duration in seconds and then it's self-documenting, but then you have more to type every time and more to read every time. By the way, the reason behind all of this, the reason why I think you should only be commenting when you feel it's necessary is because comments need to be maintained. Imagine a function that says something like public void sum x, y, and returns x plus y, and it says adds two numbers. And now a year down the line, you come in and you're like, oh man, actually, this is maybe for the bonus of some attack thing. You're like, oh, x plus y times attack bonus. Well, now this is wrong. The comment doesn't mean what it's supposed to be doing anymore. And ideally, you're updating comments as you update code, but I have worked at many jobs and people do not update comments. So eventually the comments are just outright wrong. And now they become a maintenance burden on new developers because what they read is different from what's in the code. The why would be covered at the class level? Not necessarily. Sometimes it's not at the class level. I have some like ridiculously long comment somewhere in the code base. I don't even remember where it is, but it's, yeah, I don't know how I'd even find it. If I just search for // 33,000 results. Is this even going to work? It is, but I don't know how I'd find it. And it's showing up in like font files and stuff too. Tooltip, yeah, thank you. Tooltip had some crazy comment here. And I thought this was necessary because otherwise it's like there's a Godot quirk working with how our game works here. And it's like, yeah, so this is like a page long comment, but I think it's helpful. Probably should put some formatting on this comment. All right, so set entity is standing. We do this in a bunch of different places. We're going to consolidate it from here. So this is when we set it to true. And where'd that go? Animated sprite component, there it is. Okay, so this is if we've set it to true. This is if we set it to false. So really the only thing that needs to change here is that this is going to be is standing, and if is standing, then we set the facing direction to down. We could eventually let you control the direction of this. I don't really think that's important right now. We'll put that there. So now we can go get rid of the code that we had in here. This will just be set entity is standing animated sprite component for entity to be false. So they are no longer standing. And here they are standing. And then the same thing for the worker idle state, or what is it called? Oh, I didn't do it for that. Customers. Customers have an idle state. I want to do it there too. So this is set them to be standing, and this is stop them. And now that we have these functions, we can do this for the worker as well. And the worker is a little bit weird here because they have a couple of different states. And once they're wandering, I don't want them to look like they're standing. So the question is, do we make them stand at the beginning of all of these states and then not stand at the end of it? Or do we make them stand at the beginning of this one and then not stand at the end of the third one? Since they're distinct states and they could be used interchangeably, I think we're going to put them in all of them. Fortunately, VS Code just broke, so let me redo this. Big chunk of tooltip was removed when we stopped showing them in world space. I wonder if that is still a helpful comment then. Yeah, I would need to look. All right, beginning state. We're going to say that you are standing. And why do they even leave here? They leave after 2 seconds. There's no way to skip this. This is kind of silly. I don't know. I don't really want to do that. Can they skip the next state? Ponder, build, guild. This just has a dialogue. There's nothing else you can do there. Now, I think I'm going to go against what I just said. And we'll just do this. We'll transition into worker wander. And whenever you leave this state, void leave will set you to no longer be standing. So here's a good case of saying the why. This is set in the very first worker state and cleared here so that we don't add 2 lines to every starting state. Well, the range is still relevant. Okay, yeah. I don't remember the other chungus is. Then I guess we should say this. This is cleared in a later state when the worker starts moving. What causes them to start moving? They get a component on them. We could have that component just set that you're no longer standing. But let's try this. I want to see if it looks good. It might look a little weird. Like the skeleton, they're facing downward. We could make them face to the right. That part is, I don't know which one's going to look better. Entity doesn't exist. Oh, it's lowercase. Oh, and static should appear before non-static members. Sure. There. Should be building anyway, though. All right. Okay, I think I want them to face to the right. I don't know. Does this look good or bad? I guess you need to see it facing to the right as well. But here is this one. And then facing to the right would be yeah, is that stare? Yeah. I feel seen. Looks daunting. I love it. All right, well that was option 1. Option number 2 is this. This I think I like the first one. I'm gonna put them side by side though so you can see. Okay. So what's chat's vote here? Why can't I move this? There we go. Do you want the facing right or facing down? Or walking while facing right? Because we could do that too. I think my vote is for this. I recognize I'm probably biasing chat. I like this one. I like the stare. Yeah, I like it too. It's got a certain feel to it. For anyone who does not have the benefit of being able to see what stare looks like in chat, it's this. Okay, so we're going to try this out again. And then we got to make sure that they transition out of staring at you, because it'd be very alarming if they just looked at you like that with their dead eye sockets the whole time. So we send this into battle. Your character's still over there, but once you win the battle, I think your character will move. Yeah, nice. And they stop just staring forward. It's pretty good. And then you build a potion shop and everything should be good. So now I want to time this. I want to restart, and we're going to open up a stopwatch again. We already have it open. Reset. Start game. So when you hire your first adventurer, it used to take 10 seconds for them to walk there, but they start walking already. So assuming I take upwards of 5 seconds here, and I'm like, oh, battle map. Okay, yeah, start battle. So I click this and then start. I know I was a little bit delayed, but we're going to be delayed on the stop as well. In fact, I'll do it the same mouse movement there. Yeah, so now it's like 5 seconds. I think that's better. I don't think 5 is so long that it's obnoxious. We shaved off half the amount of time. And we could shave off any arbitrary number more by just making it move farther to the right. Actually, yeah, I guess that's true. Since we can do that, how much time should it take to animate them walking? And I'd say like minimally 3 seconds. And yeah, max of 5 seconds. So should it be closer to 3 or closer to 5? Let's see how it feels right now with the camera. So I'm playing the game. I got the music on. I'm like, oh man, this is already the best game in the world. Click the mage. They start walking. I'm like, where are they going? And they walk to here and then stop. And I'm like, okay, sure. I start the battle. Yeah, I like this. I think it's fun. Let's stick with that. If we get feedback that it is still too long, we can do something about it, but I think this is good. All right, let's check that in. I think it's a good change I've made. So we don't need this here. And what happened here? Oh, I must have duplicated that with the intent to change the idle, and I just never did. Do we ever call force standing frame anywhere else in the entire code base now? Force standing frame. Nope. Make them stand next to an apple tree. That would be pretty funny. They could start eyeing the apples. All right, we got to change a comment on this. Yep, looks good. Cool. Yeah, so the only thing that I think needs to be changed is this. This is intended to be used at the beginning of the game when the adventurer is waiting for you to start a battle. They will walk closer to the portal so that you don't have to wait as long for them to finish their trek. I still want their, I'll leave it at that. Okay, so have adventurers, or like decrease adventurer travel time in tutorial. Does that fit? Yeah, it fits. And who suggested this? I want to give them credit. Almost Biley suggested this in Twitch chat. The adventurers used to take 10 seconds to walk to the portal, and now, assuming you don't start the battle immediately, they'll only take 5 seconds. The skeleton also stares eerily at you at the beginning of the game. They now stand instead of walking in place. All right, and I'm pretty sure I just looked through all of this, but anything else unusual here? The comment was updated. Is this bulletproof? Let's take a look. We add a wander thing. We listen for this. this is going to get deleted. In which case we don't need to free any listeners it had. Is that right? Because nothing's going to call it. I think that's right. Then when they leave, if this thing was not null, we get rid of its reach target. Oh, I didn't ever test that though. Let's go try that. We just need to click start battle faster than it takes them to walk to their destination. Hire, start, click, click. Should not have seen any errors in the console. Nope. And when they get to their destination, let's just let that happen naturally. Yeah, okay. Cool. Does a rubber duck thing actually work? Yeah, I think so. I think what it makes you do is state your assumptions out loud. And I think it just causes you to process it slightly differently. But really, almost any bug you create is typically caused by some like incorrect assumption. Either about how your own code works, about how an underlying system works, about what the user was going to do with your application, and figuring out what that assumption even is. I mean, that's pretty much like the debugging process. And that's why they call it rubber duck debugging, because you're debugging by talking to a duck. And that is why we have the Adam Duck emote. I assume that was better coding. That's always the cause. All right, so we're done with that. I did not keep track of where that was on the list down here, so we might be looking over these things multiple times. Upgrade the portal will look different. Is there a feature request for alt enter? Is there outlining items like we do for everything else? I don't think this would be too bad to do. I think we should consider this one. How about I just put some stars next to like 3 or 4 of these? This doesn't need to be here. Town perk to add a button in the tavern that will pull all quest items from the warehouse. All right, let's just put a YLO thing down here and bump this up to the top. Because I think this would be an easy enough change to make. Can you should look at a screenshot? Yes, you can. Do we like this to show the shortcuts? Yes. Yes, and yeah, colors need tweaking, I agree. But yeah, generally that, I think it would look good. I would just change the order of this so that they match the buttons over here. So battle map comes before adventures. Can't get you like straight at the camera. Just do one of these. Just keep zooming in. Don't jim the camera. All right, what else? Alt enter, town perk. Where left us here? Yeah. All right, on Twitter, keep an eye out on indie game quote. Yeah, I still got to do that. Outline on signs will show in their entirety using fade functions. I think that's super important. Stuff on my list. I mean, look around. It locks your camera. All right, we already had that written down. The building sound does sound pretty futuristic. Oh, by the way, we got another comment talking about how the item cell sound is too loud. So now I'm almost positive that it is too loud. Do you have an ETA for early access on Steam? So there are 2 things. There's demos, and then there's actually like proper early access. The demo, the deadline for us for that pretty much is February 3rd. So that'll be pretty soon. Early access is not even decided. I don't even know we're going to do it. So we might not do it. But if I were to, I think it'd probably be in April. Because all this plays into these Steam festivals. Next Fest ends on March 3rd. I assume from Idler Fest we'll have gotten a bunch of feedback from people. And then we're going to spend the next like 2 weeks just addressing that feedback. And then Next Fest will hopefully result in even more people playing the game. At that point, I'm hoping there isn't a lot of new feedback. I'm hoping that it's like, look, we've been working for like 2 months on the same demo at this point. Like, hopefully we've addressed most of the bugs people have faced. And I think the feedback will still exist. It'll just be around suggestions. And I'm hoping those suggestions are mostly things we've been tracking. Demo's perfect anyway. Yeah, and if you want to play the demo, it's online now. Although I uploaded it a day ago, so if you want, I can upload a new one before you play it. And then you can have all the changes that we've made. In fact, let me just do that. Yeah, just do that. All right, modify game version, project.godot. Bump game version to 0.5.7. Export all the builds. Oh, on Steam, there's no demo yet. That'll be February 3rd. Probably a little earlier than that. Maybe like February 1st, there'll be a demo there. But there's one on itch right now. So we can't fight elites with the Grant most things. Yeah, I know. That's something we should probably change. I'll write that down. I'll do that today. Make it so that grant most things gives us the repeat elites perk. All right, did this finish building? Man, the last time I like messed with this, it didn't publish the Linux one. It looks like everything's working fine right now, but still, let's make sure that it publishes it. It's only modifying the Windows one right now anyway. What? Just ended? Excuse me? I don't think it should have. Game out. And what's the current time? 11:49. Linux correct, Mac correct, Windows correct. Okay, yeah, they're all correct. So now let's go back to tools, I guess. No, dot tools. And then upload to itch. Where do you download the demo? I'm going to give you a link as soon as it's done. Don't worry. All right, what else is on our list of things to do here? Maybe write some patch notes. Yeah. Bump game version. Sync. Okay, so it should be online. Again, like I said, let me check the link, but I will make sure this actually got uploaded. Last Wednesday. Okay, I gotta wait for this. Refresh. All right. It takes like upwards of a minute. So it should be done pretty soon. There it goes. And it didn't get the Mac or Linux builds yet. Now I got those. Cool. All right, yeah. So the link is here. Why do I have 28 notifications? What is going on? Oh, they're all the builds getting uploaded? Oh, I was hoping for some like activity or something. You got followed by a few people. Posted in your topic. This is a bunch of fun so far. Thanks, Shane. Any other new ones I haven't seen? No. Wonder why that giant image shows up there. We should probably change this. Anyway, as far as patch notes go, I haven't been updating them with the minor changes that I've been making, but a lot of crashes and bugs that people have reported have been fixed. Who did design for the game? There are different kinds of design. Game design was, I'd say, like largely me. Art design was largely the asset packs we used, followed by Quickie Joe. UI design was, I'd say, like Kevin probably did the most of that. And then sound design was an asset pack combined with the music I made. So yeah, it's a mix of stuff. Yeah, improve system stability. Hey, Lincoln. Gonna have such a stable system here. Oh, drat. I didn't take this, did I? Drat. I think we got down to here. Want to be able to drag items on the customers, get rid of default tooltips on any buttons. We did that. Change the time tips to have real conditions. Post dragging should be fleshed out a bit. So you're having to unlock the customer desire system. Real con, blah, blah, blah. A little remark. Another customer. Time so high. That's done. Probably set the icon on Windows. I wonder if that's going to be important. Maybe we should look into that today. Maybe we should spend some time on the title screen music. This is done. So far on the title screen, we don't have an audio player there. Flesh this out has been done. I'd love to do that. Include advisory about save state, save files. Okay, let's take these things. This is finished. This is finished. Debug win, debug lose. I think this would help. This is finished. Okay, where left off for analyzing these issues? On the date. Delete this line if it's February. We'll put this up here too. So this is debug stuff. No, not that one. Where'd it go? Oh, here. The flee button looks bad. That's not why it looks bad. It looks bad because of what I was sharing on Discord. Because if you put it inside the instance slot exactly how it is, it looks great. Yeah, so if we just copy the flee button over here and put it in an instance slot, and then I guess I run this scene, it looks fine. It might not be applying the game scale right now. But anyway, yeah, the problem is where it is in the UI. We need to figure out what's going on with that sub viewport component. And I have that picture in the game team thing, but what I did is I took a purchase skill button, like exactly that component, and just put it into a battle, and it looks like trash. Meanwhile, the exact same thing inside the game in the place where it belongs, which is in town perks, which I can't show right now, but it looks great in there. So yeah, it is not just that it's a size thing. And you can try this for yourself. Just put it in a different section of the UI, just not under a sub viewport container, and it'll look great. But yeah, these look blurry at any size. And that's okay. I guess that's the other thing you could try. Try expanding it, because here it's 64 by 64. Try setting it to like 128 by 128. It'll still look bad. It's always going to look bad there. We got to figure out how to fix that. All right, so what time is it? It's about noon. I think this is probably the biggest bang for our buck here. And then maybe this one, and then, well, the title screen music is definitely the biggest one, but not, that's going to cost a lot more, I feel. Because I already tried this the other day and we didn't get very far with it. I still got to figure out the guitar stuff, but hey, it could be good for just hanging out and doing stuff, I guess. I might push that down to here. I think it's going to be lunchtime. Let's write in the old journal. Man, the script takes forever. All it's doing is adding one row. All right, so did some final pre-vacation prep for Idler Fest. Mostly did light work so that I didn't have outstanding tasks to return to. Okay. All right, I am going to go get lunch. It is noon-ish, and it's been about 3.5 hours of streaming. So post-lunch, I'll do probably like 2 hours. I've got a lot of stuff to do in the evening. So I think it's going to be a pretty short stream. We're just going to tackle some of these like little remaining things. What are your thoughts about AI and coding? In general, I think that it's helpful for right now. It's not really wiping out too many coding jobs right now, and it's probably only going to get better. I think in the future, it will probably start replacing more junior devs, and I think that's going to be a scary time to live in. But we're not there yet, and I don't know how long that is from here in a cost-effective way, not just when it could happen, when it will happen. All right, I will take my break. Thank you all for watching. If you'd like to join Discord, there's a link. If you'd like to wishlist the game, there's a link. And if you just want to do something else, then type in a command in the commands thing. I'll see you all in about an hour. Thanks for watching, and catch you later. Where's my change OBS thing? There it is. Bye-bye. See ya.